All right, Todd. So today's going to be a good day. You know why today's going to be a good day?
Because we got Isaiah.
Yeah, we got our friend Isaiah joining us today for our podcast. And that's awesome.
Hey, guys. It's great to be here, and it's great to feel like I'm bringing little rays of sunshine wherever I go. Thanks a lot for having me.
Right on, man. Thanks for joining us. So me and Todd have been trying to get... last week we talked about getting a guest on. You were the first person that popped in mind. Because you are deep inside, I know you're a hater like I am.
And an open schedule doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, I know, right? None of us have really anything going on too important.
Yeah. No, not really.
Available and works cheap.
I was screaming at the UI people. For those who don't know, that's unemployment.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the point where people seem to be starting to get back to work.
I don't know what to believe, my dude.
Because
I'm hearing, like you're saying that, but we're in the green. One of the few places that's in the green, and that's right now. Because shit keeps changing every day, bro.
Well, here's okay. So as far as Corona news goes, people are being told not to travel for the holidays. Well, guess what people are doing?
Traveling.
They're
Have
traveling
you
for the
heard
holidays.
of the amount of cases that have gone up in just like 2 days?
Yeah, apparently the cases for this month have been higher than or some. I don't fucking
Ever
know.
than any day ever.
Yeah.
And now we're over 250,000 people gone.
Dead. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And when people were saying, "Oh, it's slowing down," we were at like what 205. Now that's another 40-something thousand. What do we got to say about that now?
I got to be honest with you.
No coronavirus.
Yesterday, wake up and go to read the good news on the friendly Apple News on your phone. You know, it's just one of those things. And keep pulling it down, trying to refresh it. Because it's like, man, this story, like this was the same one as it was yesterday. And then I realized it wasn't the same story. It was. But they had just posted it again because every day is new record infections.
Oh, yeah.
New record deaths. And realize that it's just every day. And it's been going on so long that you almost don't even notice it anymore, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, unless it happens to you. Like that's what I was saying. Like I had one of these friends, which we talked about, come over. Now, one of the things she said was, she's like, "Oh, there is no coronavirus. Like it's just bullshit." And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know. Like, what do I even say to you, dude? You're so many levels. Like, that's just so many levels beyond stupid to even think. And, like, there's people thinking that, and then they get it. I regret what I've done. I wish I had listened. Fuck off.
Yeah. It's like, well,
You know what I mean? Why not get rid of the motherfuckers that think that there's no coronavirus? I say they're the ones that are really sick already.
It's kind of like pasty folks when they come to Hawaii or go on vacation anywhere. It's like, I don't want to put on any sunscreen. I'm looking to get some color. Fast forward 3 hours. And I think it's there's a whole lot of that involved with it,
I think, I was thinking about this today. Remember at the onset of the corona outbreak in America? I remember because it was around the time of spring break and people were being told to stay indoors, but you still had kids going out fucking partying. And a lot of them got corona. And so me and Todd agree on this. This is very much my philosophy, is most of your problems are probably your own fucking fault. Right?
Yeah.
We are a culmination of our choices.
We really are. We really are. So in that grain, I think about... God, what am I thinking about?
Deep thoughts.
I'm thinking... So, okay. In the vein that we are the culmination of our choices, these people chose to be willfully ignorant, to ignore the warnings of people, professionals in their field, presumably, because, oh god, they're so fucking stupid. So my thing is, like, you evolve when you come to the point where you realize you made a mistake and you choose not to do it again. Like, the real difference between people who are not fucking stupid and stupid are the people, oh god damn, these two, yeah. I can't hold a thought right now, man.
Some good weed.
That and the king is in the house. You know what I mean?
Oh, they got that good island kind.
I haven't.
Oh, the king.
Yeah, the king of beers.
Got it.
Well,
on a side note to it.
My point is, I hate stupid people. But if you're gonna be stupid, at least like when you make a mistake, don't blame someone else.
Well, dude, look. All right, this is not.
I don't know. Talking shit.
This isn't that. This isn't that. You have smart people that are talking about things that things all across the spectrum. You have smart people questioning if there's two genders.
Right.
You know what I mean? Smart people questioning the legitimacy or complete legitimacy of an election, something that's gone on since inception in this country. Hundreds of years. And I'm not saying that there hasn't been foul play all along the way. But for anyone to say that now my eyes are open, well then, bruh, how foolish have you been all this time? Like, I've been thinking that this whole time that there's a possibility that something has been tampered with or at least, you know, in small forms here and there. But the thing is, it's like with all of that, at the end of the day, you just expect most of it to go the way of the way it was going to go anyway. Like, there isn't that much tampering. There's too many stupid people for it to fucking work. For people to keep their mouths shut.
Yeah.
Someone will be going home and telling their kids this shit that fucking night. That shit would be all across their school.
Well, that's
the next fucking day, bro. Like, you can't have this mass fucking thing where you have all of these idiots that fuck all these monkeys. I'm sorry, you know.
I think that's where conspiracy works in the favor of like the people actually behind all the horrors of the world.
It does because they flood it with all of this bullshit.
So like I don't
you know what I mean?
I don't know.
With all of these things like I was going to say the Hunter Biden thing, but that's too small. Let's just say this election thing. It gets flooded with global warming. It gets flooded with like the things we actually need to be doing as far as other countries are concerned in like our relationships and everything. It all gets flooded. So there's like that's legitimate, but then this is not legitimate. This over here isn't legitimate. So then everyone's just questioning everything.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember too that when people are put in a position of stress, fear,
they don't think
they're a whole lot more likely to cabbage on to something that they would normally consider outrageous.
Absolutely.
And you'll see it,
Absolutely. But this is, and not just this country, people are primed for that because for the most part, you're kept in the dark about the goings on, about most things, other than your day-to-day life shit.
Yeah.
And then when something happens, of course you're going to be afraid of it. You don't know what the fuck it is. Like it just uprooted your life, whatever that might be. And then 9/11 or fucking, but that's all of that stuff was in the works.
Well, if
people have been touting that this is a possibility. Like way back, what was it in 93 when he tried it the first time?
What exactly are you talking about? 93, what?
The first bombing attempt on the World Trade Center with the blind chick.
Oh, yeah. I was a toddler when that happened, so.
Oh, right, yeah. But so that wasn't the first time Bin Laden and associates have tried to do this, but people forgot about it.
Bin Laden and Co.
Oh, my bad. my bad.
They're a limited liability corporation.
Right? Yeah. They're not responsible for any...
No one's paying us, right? And then for years after, people were just like, it's not gonna happen. And then it happened, and all of a sudden, everyone gets scared. Now we're in fucking war in Iraq, and those niggas didn't have shit to do with it.
And that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but the point is that people, to Isaiah's point, people react irrationally to fear, but we're primed. We're primed to be put in the position to act rationally because even the people that are saying what's going on, it's not enough of them. Most people are just like, whatever, America, Democrat, Republican.
Right.
They
need it simplified.
Get my mail, drink my beer.
Yeah.
And then this shit happens, and all of a sudden everyone's buying up the fucking toilet paper, baby.
So in that vein, I think it's interesting because what you're talking about is that humans, and we are reactive monkeys, right? We react to stimulus. You see like, okay, this is a decent example. I saw a woman today that was quite attractive wearing like one of those, like kind of those nylon dresses. It clung to her shape, let's say. And I was like, damn, that's nice. And then you think like, oh, I saw a roach and I want to fucking smash it. And it's like, hate. So
you could look at that a slightly different way. Smash versus squash.
Fair enough.
Well, God, what was my point? Damn, I am all over the place today.
You are, bro.
I am. I'm all over the place.
Just synapses firing.
Direction. Okay, so this story happened a couple days ago. I was just washing dishes and a roach came into my view. It was in the sink. So what did I do? I took some water and I made that roach go into the swirl. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm washing my dishes, watching this roach try to struggle through the foam and the water, and every time it tries to get away, I just fucking, sweep it back in there.
Okay.
Until finally it stopped moving and it was dead. It drowned. And I was like, God damn, that felt good. And I thought, why does it feel so good to squish bugs? Because you hate centipedes.
You're right.
I hate roaches, sure. Like, I won't go out of my way to smash them. I'm not, like, freaked out by them.
Yeah.
And then I thought, like, well, at some point in humanity's evolution, like way back when, arthropods, shelled creatures such as insects, mollusks, all that crap, anything with claws and mandibles, they used to be our predators in our evolutionary chain before we managed to escape to land, I guess.
What the hell does this have to do with the hot bitch you saw, baby?
Well, it's all part of evolution, right? Like, I see this enticing shape and I'm programmed to just respond a certain way. I see a fucking something that scuttles and my brain reacts in a certain way.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's the same thing, right? So it's
involuntary response.
It is an involuntary response. That's what a phobia is, right? It's fear.
Well, not just phobia. A phobia is just the phobia is part of the bigger evolutionary thing you're talking about here.
Right.
Maybe some of us are programmed to have different phobias, but the thing is that you're wondering, why do I have this reaction? To smash this bug. Why do I have this reaction to fucking
pound booty?
Pound his booty.
Well, no.
Smash his booty.
Because another time, I enjoy these moments where I
can tell you about the booty part.
Yeah, I can tell
That's
you about
easy.
the booty part.
We need to make little little motherfuckers that want to do the same thing.
Hey, it's fun.
Or at least a whole lot of practice.
Yeah.
It makes perfect.
But it's the point is to make other little ones so we keep going.
Correct.
Right.
We may be practicing, which is actually not part of the evolutionary thing. That actually is part of evolution. is saying, hey, stop it.
Well,
stop making so many little ones. Let's just practice. We don't have to, go through with the whole thing.
But it's the same thing as wanting to squash bugs and squash booty is to, be afraid of things that we are programmed involuntarily to respond to, right? So, like, you see a bug, you get freaked out. Or, like, I'll give you another example of one time I was playing with a cat, right? My kitty cat, back when I still had her. And I was playing with a little, a toy on a string. And the angle at which the toy was dangled in front of her, when she went for it, she came straight at my face. And for a split second, I was being chased by a jaguar. You know what I mean?
Getting bigger?
Right. So in that split second, my monkey brain responded in a way that said, murder kitty, and freaked out until I realized, oh, it's just Bunny. You know? So, like, I muse on these because I find it fascinating. I find it really fascinating when I am programmed to respond a way that's irrationally, considering that I would think I'm a pretty rational dude most of the time.
Yeah.
If I'm not hungry or if I haven't slept, I'm pretty pissed off, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, bro, we're all onions.
Layers,
we all
man.
got so many layers, and I tell you what, the old coronavirus is forcing them bitches open.
Yeah, it's really peeling it back.
Of people.
We're at Outback Steakhouse, bro. The blooming onions at the table.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely wondered I wondered like why I'm afraid. I know that plane's been.
Yeah, no, that's a.
I was gonna say at least it's not the Ospreys today.
Today.
They'll be coming later.
So, I mean,
You know what? There's a question I have. Does
sounds like they're hovering.
Does seeing fucking military planes fly overhead make you guys give you guys any kind of comfort or
No.
make you feel safe at all? No, it doesn't for me.
It's just cool to watch them do their little tricks.
Sure.
I don't know, when you know there's a hurricane bearing down and you see there's, a bunch of military activity, you feel like they're doing something.
What are they going to do?
Yeah.
They're not going to life flight us out of here. This ain't the movies, baby.
No, but I like to think that
You're
they're
drowning.
bringing bundles of sandbags or something.
Well, we do
right.
have one advantage is that this is in New Orleans. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And Bush isn't in office. I don't. Okay, that's a terrible joke. But my point is, I'm thinking of a time where we went on like a fancy boat dinner cruise out in, this is Hawaii. Name them.
The Honolulu Queen?
The Star of Honolulu?
Yeah.
That one. So we went on this boat cruise, and I remember in the dock there was it was either Navy or National Guard, but there was a little boat. 2-3-man boat, one guy with a fucking machine gun, like a 50 cal machine gun on the boat. And I was thinking to myself, well, why exactly does that need to be here? Are we under some sort of threat? And my dad was just
Hammerhead season?
hey man, well, okay.
Hey, bro, I've seen some vicious videos. Don't be in a kayak in the ocean. Is what I'm saying.
A tad excessive, maybe, but your tax dollars at work, right?
Hey, he's coming right at us.
He's coming right at us. Yeah, but
It's a deterrent.
yeah, it's a deterrent for sure. But I was
Not
thinking,
for the
like,
hammerheads, but for things I can think.
yeah, I was just like, well, shit, this is Hawaii. There's a 50 cal in the harbor. And my dad says it's to make us feel safer, and I'm just like, this was not that long ago. I was obviously an adult when this happened, but I was just like, what?
That he's right. It's to manipulate clowns. It's like when your dog goes in its cage when it's afraid. It doesn't really help, but it thinks it does.
It's a safe space.
my four walls that have like nothing's going to stop. I can't even close the door. I'm a dog, you know what I mean?
Woof, woof.
But it feels safer, but it's a lie,
Yeah.
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 The thing is, it's not there to make us feel safer, per se. It's actually there to protect shit and the most stuff down. That's the reality. It is there to manipulate and deter, absolutely, to make you think, hey, don't come up here. There's a fucking 50 cal.
Yeah.
But if it makes the masses feel safer, that's just an added benefit, and they're going to tout that to you like that's their main goal. Well, more than not, no one cares about you. Just shut up and do your job.
Something to think about too is that,
And we'll have this 50 cal pointed at them, and it will keep you safe. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, no worries. It's interesting to me that you mentioned that, because for me, coming from growing up in middle America, we'd get excited when we'd see B-1 bombers going overhead, because you didn't really ever see much of anything. Whereas coming here and understanding that, Hawaii exists as a state, to be an economic colony, and more importantly, a military installation.
Yes.
To control the Pacific. And, when I moved here, it was one of the things where I was like, oh, yeah, I was actually kind of surprised in town. There wasn't as much of a military presence as what I expected. But again, obviously, Pearl City, Kaneohe, it's a little bit different. But it's, like the whole island, it just feels like a military installation. And I think that's kind of what it exists to be in a lot of aspects.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. That's a good point, because that's something that living here you don't think about a whole lot, is that America wanted Hawaii in the first place because they saw it. They saw Pearl Harbor, and it was like, well, we can control the whole fucking Pacific from this bitch.
Yeah.
Well, not only that,
Fucking country music.
we can control the whole Pacific, but also if someone else plants roots here, it's only a matter of time before they control us.
Yeah.
Because it's way too close to us than it is to anything else. So
Right.
so like that was a strategic thing, and it was like, hey guys, look,
Had it
better
not been
us than some other people
Yeah, it
that
would have been
are
the
way more
Japanese
vicious.
or the Russians.
You know what I mean?
Dude, especially considering that back in, like, the 19th, 20th century, the early 19th and 20th centuries, like, you had literally naval empires on the, like, just on the birth of, like, the Industrial Revolution, all militarized. You had Russia. I mean, you had fucking Japan, and they fought each other, and Japan won.
Yeah.
So that was, like, a huge thing for Japan, was beating a major...
The Sino-Japanese War?
The Sino-Japanese War, yeah. Oh, man. So... that's a lot of shit to go into. But, like, yeah, so Hawaii had the choice of either being colonized or rather annexed by America or maybe Britain or maybe France. But, like, if neither of those had picked a, you know,
who's... What it was, it's a semi-hostile takeover. Look.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it was better that than being destroyed.
Yeah, Japan would have come over and been like, just fucking kill.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did everywhere else.
Yeah. That's what they tried to do anyway. Look, I mean, Pearl Harbor, hello.
And didn't Russia used to have a fort on Kauai back in the day?
And
did they?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like late 19th century, I think.
Holy fuck.
But also,
Fun shit you
also
learn from the
like,
travel
we're
guide.
just getting to a point to where a lot of people are, it's not just the hippies are going, war is bad, man. Like, we're like, a lot of people are realizing, you know, we're just killing, a lot of people are just killing people, and it's really just the ones sitting in the back pressing the buttons and giving the orders, making all of the other people kill each other. Like, is that what you really want to be doing, or do we just kind of want to be sitting there smoking, you know what I mean, and drinking, and or doing whatever it is we're doing, popping out kids, doing whatever crazy people do, but nobody want to be out there just murdering motherfuckers, unless you want to, you know.
If you look at it,
but not in mass. You know what I mean? Like, we just.
If you look at it, though, from a little bit of a further perspective, historically, war is the single largest driver of societal change and turnover. Regimes come, regimes go in war.
And
New
this,
ones
my friend,
are born, you know?
Is the failure of humanity. That shouldn't even be a thing. We should, like, it's all because we revert back to this tribalism type of fear-based, you know, like,
yeah,
where everyone has an uncle at the fucking Thanksgiving table. You know what I mean? I'm talking about if you have Baghdad's Thanksgiving, you know, or Saskatchewan's Thanksgiving, or Papua New Guinea's. Everyone has
There's
that
an uncle
motherfucker
at every table.
Everyone is like, "Will you shut the fuck up to that uncle? Why did you give him the brandy? You know how he gets him the brandy." Everyone has that uncle. You know what I mean? Around the world, if we all could just come together on that, bro. Like, I mean, we have so much more in common as people.
Yes.
You know, which is why we are all easily hurted. You know? In what I call religion. You say church. It ain't just church, bro. It's your government. It's all of these institutions that tell you, you know, that give you this moral sounding of this is wrong, this is right.
I would like to expound on that a little bit.
Well,
because when you talk about religion, I feel like that encompasses so much more today than it used to. Because now I feel like gender is a religion. Your fucking football team is your religion.
It's always been a religion.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you get offended by it, if someone makes fun of the fucking Minnesota Vikings because they suck ass and they've never won a Super Bowl,
they really do.
They really do.
Instead of a trophy case, they have a hope chest.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. I'm gonna save that. So my dad is from Minnesota, actually.
Oh, where we're from?
I have no fucking clue.
Someplace in
I have
Minnesota?
a cousin still somewhere in
By
Minnesota.
a lake.
I mean, there are many lakes out there, from my understanding. Yeah. I would love to visit someday.
Sure.
Sure. Anyway, so I grew up a Vikings. I don't like football. My dad's a Vikings fan, so I'll watch the Vikings. If they do great, good. If they do bad, I expected that.
Yep.
But, like, you know, if you talk shit about the Eagles, or if you talk shit about trannies, or if you talk shit about whatever, or Scientologists, like, that's your religion, that's your cult, that's your group, that's your tribe.
Tribe, I like that term.
It is.
It's tribalism.
It is.
It's tribalism.
It's just on a bigger scale.
And even the anti-religion is a religion.
Yeah, atheism is a religion.
Yeah. Agnostic is a religion because they adopt a similar mentality.
Mm-hmm.
as the others.
No,
you know what I mean? It'd still fuck everyone else. Pretty much.
Satanism claims to be a religion as a counterpoint.
Yeah.
You know what?
At least they're claiming.
What a time!
Good job, Satanists.
What a fucking time we're living in, where Satanists seem the most seem the most stable and what would you call that word?
Honestly, before the flying
Moderate.
spaghetti monster got addicted to painkillers, I would say that was the inspiration. But these are lean times in the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Yeah.
You gotta get that whole wheat.
Need something to believe in.
You know what? I believe in my bowl.
Yeah.
Something to think about as you were mentioning tribalism. It made me mindful of when you think about how individualism has been part of the American experience, the American identity.
Yeah.
And it has been, and more importantly, in the last 80 years, that's been one of the most effective ways of marketing products for people to spend money on these products.
Because individualism is a tribe.
So we've been getting fed the idea of you're an individual, prove your individuality by spending money, you're great like this, but you've got a core cadre of people, and I'm gonna call out Major League Baseball particularly on this one. At the beginning of this season, there was an apparel commercial. And it's like people wearing hats of rival teams, like glaring at each other. And it was like very much manufactured tribalism for profit. And there's part of me that cannot help but wonder how much of the subconscious effect of marketing has contribeted to the ideological divides that we've seen.
Absolutely. They do it as a game. It's a game for them, but because it makes them money.
Well, it's a game for everybody.
It's the same. Well, it's not a game for the people that are getting beat up in the bathroom because they had a fucking Patriots hat on. It's not a game for them. Like, they have to get stitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It started out as a game, but for them, like, this stuff descends into real life chaos. But it's the same thing that they've used racism as a game. They've used the Democratic and the Republican thing as a game.
Blue.
It's all a game, But I tell you what, you realize, like, if you're a certain place and you're a certain race, well, that's a MAGA hat or a jersey you can't take off. So at some point, you just want to be like, I just want to be out of the fucking game. Look, I'm already playing for a team that I can't not ever play for. Okay, so keep your fucking jerseys, baby. You know what I mean? Keep your teams, keep your rivalries. I don't give a fuck. Got nothing to do with me. I'm in the black gang. And I don't even like those motherfuckers.
Growing up in Nebraska, the Nebraska Cornhuskers were the state religion. Like, Jesus might have won some years, but some years Jesus came in second. And those were championship years. So, everybody loved it. And, my dad couldn't have cared less about football. And I asked him one day, like, Dad, what do you think about the Nebraska Cornhuskers? He's like, I hope they win, because if they win, I'll sell more stuff. Actually, that's a really pragmatic way of looking at it.
That's fucking fair.
Well, okay, so this makes me think of, like, the NBA, right? Because we were watching the NBA finals not that long ago, and all the jerseys said, like, Black Lives Matter, or, all the usual social justice. Like, and I'm not against either of those.
But
But they're not your friend, you know what I mean? Like, the NBA doesn't actually care. They just don't want you burning their shit.
They're making money off of that shit.
They bought the cheapest data plan effectively.
Yeah, they just want your money.
Like, what is the minimum we can do to make it look like we're doing something?
Slap Black Lives Matter on the court.
You have dental insurance.
I just want to get a hey, help me fund. I'm seriously thinking about just putting that shit up. You're like, you know what? I'm not going to lie to you fuckers. I'm not trying to save cancer and all this fucking, like help people with limbs that have been destroyed. I'm not trying to do any of that shit. I'm trying to pay my bills. I'm trying to make sure I stay calm so I have as much weed as I need. That's what I'm trying to do, so I don't kill nobody.
Again, keeping
and
the
just
most
pay my
people
fucking
alive.
bills, okay? Keep it, yeah. So this is my contribution to society. Help me contribute to society. I just want to see, you're donating to all those puppies you don't give two shits about. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
if you were on a commercial with a Willie Nelson song, people would give money to you.
I just need Sarah. What's her? Sarah McLachlan.
Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah, I just need her to play. To sit there, droopy. Just right when I wake up, my eyes are all red and
Every
droopy.
fucking time you're sitting down for dinner, that bitch
I'll put on one of my fucking paint shirts that's got a little fucking pipe rust on the side. I'll have it looking. I'll just sit and just wait a few days. Don't vacuum.
Like,
it accumulates.
I was gonna say we'll rub some grease in your hair, get it all. Maybe.
I'll just wash my hair and not comb it, and that'll be fine.
We'll stick some Q-tips through it, so it looks like you got a bird's nest going on.
There's enough hair here that if I just put water in it, it looks like I'm homeless.
Okay. In that case, you got it already worked out.
We don't have to do much.
Full of ideas. I'm not saying they're great.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to save the world, so give me money.
So I'm coming back around to what you said about how individualism has been fed to the American, and in a way, okay. So where am I going with this? I feel like where we are now as a culture, as an American culture, is individualism taken too far, because now being an individual is conformity.
It's a tribe.
Like it all circles back around.
It all descends into tribalism eventually.
Well,
are you an individual? I'm an individual. Well, no. I'm an individual too.
Well, that's not necessarily where I'm going with it. Where it's like, remember how? Okay, so you know how the counterculture has pretty much become the mainstream culture. Well,
when alternative became pop rock, effectively,
I'm talking about like when rap became mainstream instead of like dudes in their garage who were fucking dipping bullets and fucking not trying to fuck with the police. You know what I mean? So at some point they made the money, a bunch of other dudes made a whole lot more money, and it became mainstream. And then, oh God, where am I going with this? I'm never getting Budweiser again. I can't think on this fucking beer, bro.
And then
it's all that rice.
and then they made these songs about it, and then people kept trying to emulate that life.
Yeah. So you glorify an insane lifestyle that's not tenable, really, and shouldn't be desired, because these dudes who originally were writing this music, talking about this shit, wanted out.
Yeah.
And they got out.
And they wrote about it.
Ice Cube and Ice-T are doing great.
It's that ironic thing. Yeah, people are mad at this dude because he's making kindergarten cop movies. What, like, you wanted him to be dodging bullets at 50?
Mm-mm.
He does have kids now. For real. He was making money so he could get out of that shit. And like, people listen to this fucking music while doing a drive-by. It's like, bro, I'm saying that's the life we don't want to be living.
Like, at some point,
don't play my music. And then I'm sure some rappers feel that way. Like, I've heard a couple of lyrics. I don't really listen to rap, but I have listened to some. And like one of them, one lyric was this guy saying, yeah, niggas dying trying to live out these old rap lyrics. Like they're literally dying trying to live out lyrics that we're talking about that we got away from. You know what I mean? But you're not even seen as credible if you haven't gone through that. Is the ironic part.
It seems like it has a whole lot in common with people from the suburbs in Mossy Oak, fucking trucks trying to act like they grew up out in the country somewhere. And it's more of a tribe they decide to join,
Yeah.
Well, my thought is, like, this is what happens when individuality comes around in, like, the most fucked up way. Where, like, the whole point of all of that was just completely missed, and they managed to sell you the horror. You know what I mean? Where it's like, Dr. Dre or whatever, name a good rapper. Any of them. Eminem, great rapper, I think,
Everyone thinks.
Yeah, so he actually lived a horrible youth.
Shit life.
He had a shit life, and he worked his ass off to get out of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anyone to live the life he lived, you know what I mean? And he expresses it in the only way he knows. But then you have kids like, what's that one with all the tattoos on his face and the candy-colored hair? Takeshi 6ix9ine Snitcher.
Oh, that little bitch.
Yeah, the Snitcher.
6ix9ine.
Yeah, the Snitcher.
Yeah, a story I just try to distance myself from. I only know the footnotes, but go ahead. Bro.
I know him as the Snitcher because I saw a picture of him with like the Netflix's Witcher thing and it said the Snitcher. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty fucking funny. Anyway, like he missed the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He missed the point where it's like they were living this horrible lifestyle and they wanted out. He said, "Oh, they're living this lifestyle and it's glorious.
Yeah,
and I want in."
Yeah.
And that's where I think that's... Ooh.
I'd say a scenario, just me not knowing any of the facts, he wanted in looking at that ridiculous shit that fool puts on his body. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Individuality. Well, bro, why don't you just go to Home Depot, tell them to fucking empty the shit out on the floor and roll in it? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? What do you mean? You're a clown, bro. And he's doing this. Here's the shitty part. Because he doesn't know who the fuck he is, and he's actually screaming for somebody to help him figure it out.
All right.
That's the worst part. But he's doing that stuff, and he gets a little bit too far in that life, and what does he do? He ends up snitching to get out of it. Because he thought it was glorious, and then he was about to get killed.
I feel like there's a song in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, probably a good old rap version country song. But yeah, I don't know all the shit that happened. I'm saying, he looks like a bitch. He looks like a bitch. You know, he looks like someone, and it's so easy to cater that shit. All these people, like I heard somebody that I worked with, they were like, I was like, bro, can you please turn this rap shit off, man? Like, I'm not trying to sound like an old, you know, turn that shit off. But can you please? Get on my line. I was like, bro, this is hurting my brain. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, he was like, well, I was like, he's like, well, like, what's the problem? What's the problem? I was like, it's just the same, monotonous. It just keeps going. You know what I mean? Like, it's what you would teach a kindergartner just to say words. Like, we know words. So can you please just turn this horse shit off? He was like, oh yeah, well, I mean, for me, it doesn't have to mean anything. Like, as long as it rhymes. I'm like, oh,
that's my favorite thing. Because then nothing means anything.
Because, let's just say dumb shit.
Well,
Babunta, kabunta. Hey, it rhymes.
Art
Ribatu.
Art imitates life.
It rhymes.
And apparently his life is just about that complex.
But that's what we've dumbed shit down to. Like, people there are rappers that tell you a story with a good beat. To me, that is a rap artist. All this gibberish like Waka Flocka, bro. What the first? That's not a name. Like, that's a leaf, or in the Amazon. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? And he comes up there. They ask him simple questions like some school. Hey man, what do you think about school? Well, I mean, I didn't finish school. Hey, well, what do you think about the election or anything? This is way back in 2000. I don't know.
It's like, I get erections.
He's sometimes. Like, well, I mean, I don't vote, but hey, man, why you keep asking me all these hard questions? It's like, bro, he just asked you about school. You don't even have to go. Just say, hey, it's good for people.
School's cool.
You know, I mean,
it.
Definitely pay attention to what's going on in your community. Like, you could have bullshit, but this dude don't have nothing in his head.
Chance the Rapper, you are not, sir.
Okay, so, all right.
But bro. No, we're not getting off.
No. I'm saying we're getting pretty warmed up now, and I want to give our guests the spotlight, Todd. So, Isaiah, I know deep down in your heart you have a lot of hate that maybe goes unsaid. So, the entire episode last week when me and Todd got together was me railing on furries. That's not the point. I've gone, ugh. Anyway.
You open an elevator at the wrong time and are confronted by furries getting it on. You just can't go back from that.
Can't unsee that shit. No, sir.
So I want to hand you the floor, Isaiah. I want you to describe to us.
This is your grind,
This is it.
What grinds your gears?
What really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears? And while you're doing that, Todd, can I make a request?
Sure.
Please.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
If you don't mind.
Things that just don't sit right with me.
Yeah.
I mean, we could ease into it. we really did just put you on the spot.
You really did.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry.
Get a little warmed up for it. I've been trying to be really mellow and meditate and shit lately. So I gotta dig down into that well.
Okay.
That well that's in there.
Okay.
That well that.
I tell you what,
I'm
bro.
just going through the process here. I'm going to start off with people who drive 10 miles an hour faster than all other 500 fucking cars on the expressway and are pissed off at everybody else for driving too slow.
Okay.
So the fuck? Like you're just you can solve this problem. This is not a big deal, but man,
slow down a little bit.
You're having road rage. Yeah.
They're causing the road to
when
be a
the
problem,
rest of
and
the
they're
world
having
is wrong.
road rage.
What does that tell you about yourself?
Yeah, you're probably stupid. Yeah.
So I kind of got a problem with that.
I love it.
People who are in such a hurry after leaving the gym that they got to immediately caffeinate, that they can't go home and clean and change themselves before going and standing in a long-ass line at, let's say, a coffee shop to get that latte. And then getting up to the counter while everybody behind you's been sweating in your orb. And you don't know what you want.
Oh, man.
So
seems like a scenario you've
I like
through.
to think about things that I want when I'm taking a shower.
For a moment there, I was like, yeah, that's me, until you said, and don't know what you want. I know what I want by the time I'm up to that counter. I'm not that guy.
Generally,
all right, see, so you don't have to stop home first.
know.
These folks, they should have taken a shower and thought about it and thought, I wonder if pumpkin spice is in season yet this week.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
Maybe I'll just do a chai latte instead. Oh, I don't know. Do I want to do some caffeine though? I mean, yeah. So like that bothers me.
I love it.
Yeah, those are good ones.
People who think they can buy shit to get better at stuff. It's like, hey, you may be driving a Mercedes, but you still can't drive.
Yeah.
Or you know what? You might have spent $1,200 on that driver. But you're always going to be
You're still hitting into the bunker, bro.
I love that. You see people that want to always, like, hey, so I've got this thing. This is the next newest thing. This is the next newest thing. Musicians, like people who always want to play music with you. And I'm sure, Rob, you can relate to this. But it's like, okay, here are the chords. Well, I don't really do that because I think, like, okay, well, I guess we can't play that. Well, no, just start playing.
That's why when we were at your place, I was just like, I'm not touching.
Todd and I were speaking Greek.
In that vein, okay. Let me think. I understand what you're saying about the high and mighty, right? The high makamaka, right?
Yeah.
The dude who's better than everybody else because he either has money or... I can appreciate someone who wants good tools for their craft.
Boy, he's definitely gone out and bought the glove. Doesn't know how to play pool.
Me? Fuck no. You've seen me play pool. I'm shit.
Fucking waxing that shit, just hitting it off the table every fucking time.
Bro, oh man, yeah. Well,
breaking people's drinks and shit. I love those motherfuckers.
I like them too.
They're a riot. Man.
They center you.
And then we have people like at the place that I go to, the tavern. We have people that are actually really good pool players. Like they've gone to Vegas, won the tournament type good pool players.
Those are the dudes I listen to.
And they don't have the stupid glove. They're just sitting back there sipping on a shot like half drunk while these clowns are in there waxing their stick. About to go in there and get destroyed.
Oh, dude, Michael P. Got no glove. Yeah. But he's got trophies.
Oh, yeah?
That's all you need is trophies.
Sure, well, let's get Mike to play pool if we can ever play pool again.
Yeah, you got to get him feeling drunk and magnanimous so he'll let you win. That's how I've beaten him.
I don't want him to let me win.
No, that's how it happens, though.
I just don't play. Because when you grow up and you're still at toddler level, you realize that's an issue. And that's just another way to get laughed at.
They say if you don't play, you can't win, but you can't lose either.
Well, that's the Wayne Gretzky quote. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I take it that way.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I don't play hockey, so therefore.
On that vein,
I don't have to
all right.
take a shot.
we like to go to this bar. It's called Honolulu Tavern. It's a dive bar. Everyone there is old, and they just come in after work. And the people who aren't old are industry, and they just want to get drunk before they go home, play some pool.
Stiff drinks on the dollar.
Great fucking spot.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait for them to open back up. So me and Todd would go and hang out there. We'd watch people play pool, drink, fucking walk outside, smoke cigarettes. Great shit. Eventually, I said, fuck it. I put my name up on the board. I wanted to, start playing pool. And it's like I got all these cats fucking annihilating me. I'm not going nuts. I'm not going to go out there buying a glove or my own stick.
Yeah.
But so that's when you take something too far because you can and you want to be show-offy of how much money you have. So when it comes to a musician, when it comes to music or computers or, pretty much anything that I'm passionate about, I'll buy whatever is quality.
Oh, yeah, because you end up saving so much money in the long run if you do that.
But you have knowledge of that and you know what you need. And so even if it's so not just someone out there buying something that has a silver plate on it,
Yeah. I'm not the sap who's going out and buying the shiniest thing.
Yeah.
I'm not lining up for the new iPhone is what I'm saying.
And there's you see the difference. Like people that are just showing out over there, shellacking their sticks, like whatever it is they're doing. Like anyone who's played whatever game you're playing right now already knows that, bro, you're posing. This is not what you need. This is not efficient.
You're a poser.
Yeah, you should spend that time, take that time to actually learn the fucking craft.
Like you give a fucking novice a Gibson SG, and you give fucking Steve Vai a fucking Squier Telecaster. Who do you think is going to sound better? Do you know who Steve Vai is?
Fucking
son.
The Queen of England, bro. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're even talking about.
All right,
his name was on a guitar I had once.
Steve Vai is probably the greatest guitarist alive right now. I'll play some music for you later because it's fucking stellar.
Okay,
it's
just understand. It's like
I understand.
Speaking calculus to a fucking.
He plays all the notes.
He plays everything. Oh my god, it's beautiful. He's beautiful. It's beautiful music.
Yeah,
it's magnificent.
I'm sure I've heard plenty of it. I'm sure.
No. That's the thing about Steve Vai is probably not. That's the craziest thing about Steve Vai is you probably haven't heard him very much.
Not really.
Well,
any radio top 40s outside of maybe one or two.
Yeah, it's more like avant-garde.
You know my friends. Yeah. Do I seem like a person that has friends that listen to the top 40? No, I'm pretty sure I've heard. Yes. I've heard a lot of stuff. I just don't remember the names of the people that I've heard. A lot of my friends listen to all types.
Yeah, but we all did live in the period of time where if you didn't have broadcast radio, you didn't hear new music.
Oh, that's true. But I grew up in a church, so I didn't hear any of that music anyway.
Bringing in the cheese.
I don't know. That's what... Was that the white version of our fucking...
That's the Wisconsin version.
Oh.
It was a bad Prairie Home Companion joke.
Oh.
All right. Okay, what else we got, Isaiah? What else pisses you off, man? Because the ones you've given me so far are very, incredibly common, man.
These are things
we could go into, though.
I love it.
We could.
I love it.
We could break them down.
I'm just kind of
the road one I like.
I know you are.
The road one I like because I've people that are on your ass, especially when you, speed up to go 5 miles an hour over. Or 5 miles over, all right, I'm trying to help you out, and you're still riding my ass. We're both going over the speed limit.
Yeah.
Why are you still riding my ass? Now I'm about to brake check you.
I think it goes back, and I'm actually going to delve into that one a little bit more deeply, because to me it kind of goes with the theme of individualism that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And I think it weaves back into our current COVID situation as well. Mm-hmm. The idea of it's I'm gonna do 80. Yeah, it's over the speed limit. Yeah, it's faster than everybody else, but I'm just gonna do it. And I think if you take because if it's just a decision that you visualize or view as affecting you, it's a whole lot easier to rationalize doing what you want to do.
Yeah, but that's entitlement.
Yes.
That's not affecting you. You could destroy God knows what the fuck.
So you look by doing that, bro.
That's sociopathic.
So you look at it at COVID.
Very least.
You look at the people who's I'm not going to wear a mask. #freedom. Hashtag used to be proud.
Yeah.
Hashtag I want to get sick.
And
hashtag record numbers.
So you see that where
fuck.
So the idea
no
of where it's like, oh, and even with, I've even talked to and seen people that, though they're all about it, whatever, but it's like, oh, I'm going to take it off like right now, but I'm going to judge somebody harshly for doing the exact same thing. And yeah, that's where individualism meets and exceptionalism, and like Todd was saying, a sense of entitlement comes from that. And I think that as COVID has shown us that it's been a referendum on made a lot of cracks in our system much larger. When you look at the concept of individual-based entitlement, COVID has definitely brought that out. You have people, we're going to get out of the city and go up to the Hamptons or go out to wherever and have all of our friends out. Like that sort of privilege.
Yeah. The sort of, and not even realizing.
And it's like, no, like actually that's kind of the problem. Like people flying in between countries, and don't get me wrong, like for global commerce to happen, that needs to occur.
Right.
But there are certain people
you.
that travel a whole lot more than the others, and it's not necessarily always for necessary travel.
Absolutely.
And I think we saw a lot of spread quickly through that.
Yes. I love this guy, man. I love it. Okay, because you're very good at putting things like more eloquently.
That's why when cruise ships.
Oh my God! Can you think of a more
I think,
unnecessary thing than cruise ships?
No, that's why I'm like, anyone who wants to go on a cruise, I think you should go. Right now, as a matter of fact, right now,
dude.
And then come back and tell the family, because honestly, if your family would even let you get on that fucking ship, I think all you motherfuckers need to go.
Yeah, the family's gonna go with them. They're gonna be like, "Oh, it's a bloody great."
Well, no,
here's
what I don't want is for me to be chilling back here in the fucking bunker, and then for somebody else, like, to be out there acting like it's fine, and then they come back here and tell me about it, and now we're both dead.
Right?
I was trying to do the right fucking thing.
Right.
That's the thing I don't understand about this fucking unemployment thing too, dude. Because you have people who, I'm not trying to be like entitled or anything. I'm just trying to chill.
It's your money. You've already paid it in.
And also, there's motherfuckers out there killing people or dying, going out there getting sick,
Yeah.
or going out there
trying
being
to pay
fools,
rent,
dude. Like, just because they're trying to pay rent or just being fools. I'm trying to stay out of all of it. I just go to 7-Eleven, get my coffee and cigarettes.
Oh, come on. If you were at a Notre Dame game, you'd have charged the field, too.
Bro, come on. I don't go to those games. Hell, I didn't even do that shit when I was before COVID, But like, that's my thing, dude, is it doesn't even matter if you're doing the right thing. Like, and also, they don't make that shit readily available. Like, this unemployment stuff, you would think that they would be just, bro, maybe you're not just clicking buttons, but I think you're just clicking buttons.
They are just clicking buttons.
I think you're just taking long coffee breaks and saying, look at these idiots. Just call it, bro, people's lives are happening as this is going on. And you're just getting, and it's easy to just make them all seem like cattle and everything. But fuck. I was like, do you understand? You have a job right now. You're being paid to sit here and get mad at me. Like, fucking, what are we doing?
Yep.
Just give me my fucking money and I'll leave you alone. I don't have a record. I don't have any history of fraud or any of that shit. You know what I mean? This craziness just happened. You know what I mean? None of us were expecting it. So if we're trying to help us help each other.
For a little nugget of optimism, Michael just got his extension disbursement yesterday.
Okay.
So hopefully you're going to be coming soon.
How long did it take?
Yeah, I think it was like 6 weeks.
Oh, it's been over 2 months. Bro.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I'm pretty sure. So these days when I walk around, I go to like a Long's or a Walmart or even in my last job when I had to go to like government buildings or the DMV and shit like that and get documents, whatever arised, even the airport. So when you're working these cushy office jobs, it's like, I want you to imagine a parking lot that you've been driving around for 4 fucking hours, and there's no parking spot, and you see one, and then some asshole takes it like right in front of your face, and you just scream into the goddamn void. And then imagine that for 8 hours, and then you go home, and you have like 2 hours to do something you want to do, and then you go to sleep and wake up and do it again 5 days a week. So,
is this a specific job, or are you just giving a...
Or was that your vacation to the Mall of America?
Fuck, man.
I mean, that's definitely someone's life.
That is a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
So like that
someone's
is the people
probably specifically.
That is the people at the UI office's lives. That's the people at the DMV's lives. They don't give a shit about you. They're just trying to go home and do.
And
here's
the other thing. They
angry.
should be getting paid more. I don't know if that.
Well,
happened.
no. My argument is this: their job can just be done by a fucking computer at this point.
But it should be. It should be done by people because
this,
people are what it's happening to.
I know.
And that, bro, like I understand. Like I had a job, but my shit was at a fucking restaurant. So fuck all those motherfuckers coming in there with
You
their
know
shit.
that's not a real
like we're
job.
coming. Yeah, we're coming here. We're coming here on our leisure. We don't need to eat a fucking margarita
Well, that's the thing.
and have a Mai Tai. But motherfuckers coming in here do need their employment. There may be some scammers, but there are people coming in here. This is essential. So for those people who have to deal with that job and they feel kind of like they're dealing with a restaurant job, because that's how it feels with customer service. People call up saying all types of shit, bro. All types of shit. And you're a human and you can take so much. That's why I try to keep the cussing down. But, like I'm human. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm pissed. But the thing is, they're human too. Pay those motherfuckers, especially right now. Make them happier. Like, look, here's the reason why we're paying you. Explain to them. The reason why we are paying you more is because right now you are fucking necessary. Right now there are millions of people out there hurting. So I appreciate you coming in. Sometimes it's going to be shitty. You're going to have to hear stuff, but this is what's going to happen. And when it's all over, there's something going into some vacation time. We fucking appreciate you. Hell, you can give basketball players millions of dollars. And I'm not saying what they're doing doesn't hurt and doesn't fucking do skill, but it's for recreation, bro. It is for recreation.
Must go on.
It's so we can watch and go, oh,
we need more bread and
that person at the UI office right now.
Yep.
That person at the UI office right now is way more important, way more fucking valuable, bro. Anyone who puts on a fucking uniform right now, in face of everything that's going on, and tries to go out there and just do their fucking job is way more fucking valuable.
Yeah.
Someone bagging groceries right now, standing in front of a food land, is way more fucking valuable. And they should be getting paid that. It's never going to happen.
And I find it interesting that so many of the essential
Right,
jobs are in the lowest
but that should be shifted right now because it has shifted.
Absolutely.
This whole thing has shifted. And that's another thing COVID brought up. A lot of things have shifted. We've had to look at ourselves, but we've been forced to look at the situation that we're all in collectively and see what's been important this whole time. Well, things that we valued as important and what actually still is. Now, some of the things we lost might have had their value, might have had their importance, but a lot of the stuff is fat that could have been cut. And it was just stuff in front of our eyes, man, that was just blinding us. And boom, now we're all shell-shocked.
Yeah. In the 1990s, it was all across the industry publications about how it was that the restaurant industry was killing the traditional family dinner. People were eating out, people were ordering in, people were getting food on the go. They weren't sitting down and dining together. And, there was a number of, publications that were very concerned about this. And yeah, it did. It affected the grocery sector as people went out to restaurants. And in the last year, we've seen all of that entire industry that's been being built since the 1990s effectively collapse. And now people are having dinner together more than just, once or twice a week. They're having dinner all the damn time. And as we switch to a service-based economy, we just sublet all these things that we normally did for ourselves out to people, and industries were created around that. And it wasn't stuff we necessarily needed, but it was a great way to produce jobs in a different sector while manufacturing was slipping. And so we switched everybody into businesses where you're effectively waiting on people hand and foot. And now you can't be around people.
Yeah.
And so that entire service sector, which was what kind of mitigated the decline in manufacturing, is gone. And I think it's laid a lot of things bare.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. We've done so many more things for our entertainment and for our leisure, just to increase that, and yeah, man. I mean, and it's the people's. It's our own fault. Like a lot, not all of it. Like some of the stuff is manipulation. Hey, do this if you want to feel like, especially product.
It's the modern marketing method.
Apparel that you wear. That's supposed to cater to your individuality, which they're just herding you into another fucking store. Yeah, you're just cattle.
The modern marketing method is effectively illustrate a common problem, issue, annoyance that somebody might have. Say, oh, do you have this? Well, yeah, I have this. I have mosquito bites. Yeah, they annoy the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Well, we've got this product, and if you give us whatever the bargain for exchange is, we'll give you this, and it'll make this better. Yeah. And, you look at it in an apparel. Oh, can't get a date? Buy J. Crew.
Right.
Like that sort of thing.
They just keep
You're going to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah. Where it goes from the mosquito bite stuff to a fucking shirt.
But that's how everything is sold.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's unnecessary. Now it's like, but is it worth it? Because there'd be people. Bro, I never understood standing in lines that were unnecessary. You do that shit at the DMV, pretty much that's it. And there's and at court if you have to go, I guess. Like, but if I'm standing in line to go into a store to get shoes, my dude.
Yeah, I've stood in line for Pokemon.
I understand, and blah blah blah. But like people that will come into the restaurant and get mad.
Yeah.
Like, the 45 minutes wait. Well, motherfucker, by all means, go somewhere.
You should have planned properly.
By all means, food pantry is 3 streets down. Just go there. Grab some fucking lettuce. You can make your own fucking romaine salad.
Yeah.
Just get the fucking lettuce and put the chicken in there. You got a chicken and romaine. Boom. You don't have to wait 45 minutes. The 45 minutes you spent, now you're already eating at home. You're mad at me. But that's what was going on, dude. Like, people, all of that shit was pumped up. Now it's like, is it really worth it? Is it worth my life? Some people, at least the smart ones, I think, are thinking to stand in this fucking line. And some people are still saying yes.
I always like to tell people that in restaurants and bars that it's like, yeah, you could totally get this Jameson for a bottle of it for the cost of 2 shots that I'm charging here. But you're not paying for that Jameson.
You're paying for those
You're
bitches.
paying for where you're drinking it.
Yeah.
You can get this cheap, but you got to drink it at home, and, there's no ESPN and no pretty scenery.
Yeah. There's no chicks dancing around on the dance floor.
You're not getting laid if you don't leave your house. That's why you're paying more.
Or their skirt all hiked up over ass. You ain't getting that.
Good luck with that. Hope everything comes out okay.
It will.
We could pause.
No, you guys can entertain each other. That's the advantage of having 3 people.
Fair enough.
In that case, I'm putting back on the headphones.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's just, I don't know, bro.
Things that piss me off. Bullshit, cheap rubber slipper.
What was that?
Bullshit, cheap rubber slippers.
Oh, bro, that's what I live on. Because I have these.
I expect more than 2 months out of you.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But I have ginormous feet, so I don't really have too many options.
I mean, I think about 12
Unless
and
I pay a bunch of
half
money.
is where it kind of maxes out.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
Yeah.
They don't make locals in your size.
No. No. The funny thing is, no, they do. They just all, like, because some of the people here, bro, their feet. The feet on these motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing you can wear is a slipper. You can't put that shit in a shoe.
Yeah, but they're not buying their footwear at ABC.
Yeah, that's true. They're getting that shit.
It's more
online.
the Eastern tourist.
Yeah. That's just for idiots like me, really.
Ah.
You know. But I've made one of those pairs of slippers last, for at least a year.
Yeah, I was that classy dude out front of Target, taking the tags off my new rubber slippers and fucking throwing the tags of my old pair into the fucking trash and walking away in the new ones.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm
bro.
classy like that.
Oh, yeah. I don't care. I need to be comfortable, or at least not be flopping around here, hurt my ankles.
Yeah, like once it splits in the middle, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're walking around like an 80-year-old woman. No offense to 80-year-old women.
I'm not entirely certain how they walk, but I'm sure it's not very fast.
No, it's definitely not.
All right. Pass the microphone back to him.
Okay, fair enough. This is a trade-off.
Yeah.
It's like a classroom.
King of Beer is doing its work. Yeah.
All right, now we're back. Can you hear me fine?
I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, I tripped the power cable and it cut out everything. I fucking hate that shit.
Just edit that shit out or edit it in. I don't know.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It happens. We'll listen back to it. If it makes a big old clunk, I'll just take it out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We were talking about Netflix earlier.
Mm.
Or was that Dave Chappelle?
Oh,
Dave Chappelle
so
thing.
apparently Netflix took... Well, Isaiah was telling us that Netflix took Dave Chappelle's show off of Netflix because he wasn't making money off of it.
Yeah.
That's cool, I guess.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying, like, I heard that pretty much, like, Netflix is, I mean, that's the first I've heard of someone doing something like that.
Mm.
I don't know if there was an amount of pressure put on them for that, but, I mean, it's good for PR.
Certainly is.
You know? I mean, it is Dave Chappelle, so it's like, other than Oprah, there aren't too many other people you want to just be like, we don't want to step on their toes. Right? Just not right now. I mean, he's kind of burning pretty hot right now.
And they're not making any money really off of his old stuff. They're making money off of his new stuff.
Yeah, they stand to make a lot more by keeping him happy.
Yeah.
You know. But that's a hell of a turnaround to just say that shit on Saturday Night Live. And then they're like, you know what? He's right.
It might have been one of the best monologues I think I've ever seen on Saturday Night Live.
It was pretty fantastic.
It was a roller coaster.
It was pretty and it's the fucking truth. You know.
That's why you laugh.
Yeah. It's the truth, bro. And he's right. Like, not being able to say things unless you put a punchline behind it. I just think it's bullshit. or being able to verify it, like, you know.
But it's totally worth it when getting people to realize that they just laughed at themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll give credit to the Saturday Night Live crowd. Those stuffy assholes. They fucking laughed.
I mean,
themselves.
honestly though, you get a ticket to go see that, especially now. I'm like, man,
Yeah, you're
I will be the best audience member ever. I swear. If you need me to come up for a cameo, I'll do it. I'll laugh at everything.
I'll be like anything but coming for a cameo.
Oh,
Stay
come on,
away
hook
from
up the
me.
ticket, please.
6 feet, baby, 6 feet. Well, yeah, that's cool. But like, I've heard Netflix is like, as far as content and everything, like they saved shows. You know that show Lucifer? It was on NBC or something. It's it's about the devil, Lucifer. But it was only supposed to be like 1 or 2 seasons, and then Netflix got a hold of it, and now it's on like season 5. And they just keep like they're the ones who were paying for all the production and everything,
and
they're just listening to the fans. The fans are like, "Hey, man, bring it back," and they're like, "Okay."
And they decided about when they decided to move away from mailing DVDs to people and go totally streaming, that, you know, obviously there was a huge market out there that hadn't been tapped. And before a lot of the other ones, Netflix pumped so much money. It's like, hey, you've got an idea for a show, a production. Here you go. Here's the deal. And the idea is to produce as much original content as they possibly could. And now, like, they're definitely the largest one in that market, even though, you know, Disney's playing catch up.
Yeah, but by the time they play catch up, they're going to be somewhere else.
And even though like, Disney's bigger, they haven't been able to get as much of that market as easily.
Whoever the original team is, I hope that that's the team that's driving it. And, you know, they can keep this philosophy because it kind of seems like they're handling things a bit like human beings, you know. Like, I mean, hey, we're streaming your content. You know, you're right, bro. Fuck, we're going to take that shit down.
That doesn't seem like a reasonable corporate thing to do.
No. I mean, it seems like a human thing to do. You know what I mean? So, you guys have any problem with my content? Like Bill Burr, because you know, if you listen to his podcast, that dude just says whatever the fuck he wants.
I got to be honest, he pisses me off and he makes me laugh.
Absolutely, same.
You bastard.
Well, yeah, he's pretty much my favorite right now. But he does say some stuff. I'm just like, bro, what? But anyway, the thing is, his show F is for Family. It's a cartoon, but like he was like, so what do we have to worry about with content? They're like, no, go. And then he made the first season, and then so second season it's like, so how do you? They're like, yeah, so if you want to pump it up, dude, they're like, oh fuck, okay. If that's what you want to hear, that's what it should be, bro. Like hampering creativity is not
hampering creativity is how you get the new Star Wars trilogy.
Maybe, or maybe that was just beating a dead horse and it was dead already, and he should have just not even tried.
I mean, is it even a trilogy or anything now? I kind of feel like it's like Star Trek. It's just everywhere now. Yeah. You've got multiple movies, TV shows. It's just
well, you know, I'll say that Star Wars is way bigger than Star Trek. I'm gonna say that right now. Well, okay.
You're a Star Wars fan.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not.
No, it's not actually.
Yeah, you don't think so?
Definitely not. Are you kidding me? There's series upon series upon series. If you want to go with just the William Shatner portion, or just the Patrick Stewart portion,
I'll go with Next Generation over original.
Yeah, same here.
I'll go with absolutely Next Generation. But I'm saying, as far as time, you know, I mean, as far as content, you know, and the movies for both of those guys, and then you have Deep Space Nine, you have fucking Voyager, with the guy from Quantum Leap.
Enterprise.
Yeah, I
Enterprise, the one from the Enterprise. Yeah, the guy from Quantum Leap, that guy.
I remember the one with Commander Janeway, but I'm not certain exactly.
I don't even know any of their names after Picard and Kirk. I don't know any of them.
She ended up in the Orange is the New Black series. Is in prison.
Well, I didn't watch that either.
Was that Deep Space Nine?
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Captain Janeway.
My mom loved that, and so does my roommate.
So I'm gonna throw this one out here in the Star Wars, Star Trek sort of debate. So, and this is, of course, my opinion. I'm sure a lot of other people do. But you look at Star Wars, it's a narrative that follows the trajectory of the hero's journey.
Right.
You have that.
Completely different genre.
Star Trek, it's serialized, and in each episode of it, there's a different moralistic choice,
right,
that seems to be at the heart of the episode. So, like every season,
like Sesame Street in space.
Yeah,
well, no,
pretty much.
Well, more like fucking Aristotle in space.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah,
yeah. So, like, there was a little bit more like philosophy, and so like I'll say, as someone who owns the vast majority of the Star Wars movies, I'm a Trekkie.
My mom was a Trekkie. I mean, so I was a sub Trekkie, you know.
Well,
but every Saturday,
that's what was on late on Saturday night.
Every Saturday, was bro.
That's where I watched it.
It went from Next Generation, and then it was like 3 hours of the old original.
Yeah. Well, that's the big difference between Star Trek and Star Wars, right? Star Wars started off
and then Hercules and Xena. Sorry,
these three.
Xena, Warrior Princess.
Yeah. Oh shit! What was his name? Kevin Sorbonne.
And Lucy Lawless.
Lucy.
Don't even play. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your thought. It's just...
Lucy Lawless. I just think of Spartacus whenever I think of Lucy Lawless.
Oh, boy. That's a different Lucy Lawless.
God damn, is it ever.
Do you remember her as the Amsterdam dominatrix in Eurotrip?
No.
No, but it sounds about right.
No.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Did I even saw that movie. How the hell did I forget about
I would
that?
love to see
It was a bit part. It was a bit part.
Coming at me with a whip. I'd be okay with that.
I wouldn't. Put that fucking whip away, bro. This is bringing up too many memories that I didn't even know I had.
I don't want to spoil the scene, but
My ancestors are...
If you have to have a safe word, keep it under 14 syllables.
Xena. That's her safe word. Xena!
That's enough!
Yeah.
Oh, God. What was I talking about? Fuck.
Something important, I'm certain.
Something Star Trek. So that's the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars. Is like Star Wars was 3 movies originally. Star Trek was a whole series of 50, 60 odd episodes.
Yeah.
And then you had the Next Generation, also TV series. You had the prequel trilogies, which were okay. They're okay. They're okay.
Depending on... Bro, there's people out there watching them. There's people that still think they're more than okay.
I mean, the prequel trilogies.
Well, okay.
The pod racing scene
before we go
as
into
good as Ben-Hur.
Actually, a lot of people... I think
and Terry's.
I don't know what the fuck. Sorry, I'm not
Fastest
that...
horse in Rome. Oh, that's Ben-Hur. That's the fucking old Chuck Heston Ben-Hur.
Was that a CB DeMille movie?
What's that?
Was that a CB DeMille movie?
Fuck, I don't
feel
know,
like
brother.
it was. It seems like it should have been.
Fuck, I don't know. I have to watch that movie
God.
again. I love Chuck Heston.
I feel like that's like a Jack Black type of feel, but I guess Jack Black would be...
I love Jack Black.
Not Jack Black.
He wouldn't have made it off
Jack
the shit.
Nicholson.
Huh?
Jack Nicholson.
No.
Could you imagine?
No, there's like a Billy Jack. Jesus Christ. I said Jack Black. Billy Jack?
I don't know who Billy Jack is.
What?
All right.
I'm gonna put this foot. I'm gonna put this foot right across your face, and there's not gonna be a thing you can do about it.
Oh, fuck.
Bro, did you ever see Major Payne?
No.
Oh!
Remember when he said, "I'm gonna put this foot on this"? He was like, "Don't give me that Billy Jack bullshit." That's what he was talking about. He was talking about that, bro. So if you don't know Billy Jack, bro, look it up. Because, we'll talk about that shit on the next podcast.
Dude, now that we thought of Jack Black, I want to call up Jack Black and, like, chroma key him into the scene where they're rowing on the slave boat. You were saying Jack Black wouldn't make it off that boat.
He wouldn't have either.
I want to see that fucking scene where they're all just rowing the fucking boat. And they're rowing like a fucking trireme or some shit.
Where? In what?
In Ben-Hur.
Oh, sorry,
yeah. So I would love to see like Jack Black just like in his fucking underpants because he's fat as shit. He's like, oh guys, fuck, can we take a break? Oh jeez.
Well, that sounds like nothing like Billy Jack at all.
No, it's Jack Black. Oh man. Okay, so Star Trek TV series, Star Wars movie series, prequels. Okay, they've aged a lot better, especially in sight of the new trilogy.
The Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars. Actually, the Star
Trek. I like
Trek.
the Star Trek.
I do, too.
Bro, yeah.
I do, too.
I think they did a better job.
They
the
did a pretty
CGI
good job.
wasn't as noticeable.
Yeah. And I also, Chris Pine and Skylar. I don't remember his name.
This is the third time, Todd, on the podcast itself. Zachary Quinto.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Don't feel bad. I never remember his name either. Spock.
Bro, yeah.
Spock.
But everyone knew him as the guy from Heroes.
Right.
Back in the day. He was the bad guy. Skylar, whatever.
I could see him as a
He was
villain
great,
character.
bro. He was fantastic.
And then you had Ben Cucumber, who was Khan, and he was good.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benadryl Cucumber.
Benadryl Montalban.
Oh, fuck. Ricardo Montalban.
I gotta be honest. Even though the new one was better, I love Ricardo Montalban as Khan.
I've got the soft spot, too. From hell's heart.
See, I didn't really watch it back then.
My last breath, I spit in your eye.
That sounds so dramatic.
But it's like that.
Dramatic.
You've never seen Wrath of Khan?
I've seen them all, but I don't remember them.
Oh, man.
So think about it like
this.
We'll juxtapose this over Batman. So there's the Joker. There's the one where Heath Ledger plays the
then you
Joker, but
got
before
Happy Jack.
that, you have Jack Nicholson.
Oh yeah,
And he brings a certain old school Hollywood
Absolutely.
sensibility to
I
the role.
understand.
Ricardo Montalban did that for Khan in ways that Benedict Cumberbatch, even though he's probably a better actor
he is.
by and large,
He is.
couldn't approximate that old Hollywood
He
as Rob
wasn't-
did it breathy monologue.
He wasn't asked to. There was nothing in that movie that was like, let's bring some kind of Shakespearean bent to it.
Because it would have made no sense.
But wasn't
Yeah.
but
No
wasn't
sense.
Khan was in the series too?
Oh yes, and
he was a
fucking
dark
awesome.
motherfucker.
He was awesome.
Wasn't he kind of dark? He
Yeah,
was ruthless.
he
I
was.
think Cumberbatch definitely.
I mean, he got named
embodied
Khan in the
ruthlessness.
60s, dude. Just
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Khan in the old series, when he wakes up, they find him and a couple of his kin like in cryopods and shit, much like in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Although I don't think in the movie that any of the other ones even got out. But like in the series, I remember a couple of them got out, and they slowly started to just knock off the people in the Enterprise to take over, and it was just like, damn, these motherfuckers are ruthless.
Yeah, bro. Those things. Was it the Borgs for Next Generation? Those are the ones that always.
They are Borg.
Bro,
We are Locutus
Number one.
of the Borg.
I just remember that line when Captain Picard got taken over.
Yeah.
So,
Number one.
Coming
Get the
from
shit
a
on his
large
face.
family, my last name's Whole, and so my siblings would always joke, we are whole. Me, I am 4 of 9.
Oh my god!
I am 4 of 9 of the
4 of 9 of whole.
Guys with Borgs.
You will service us.
That's fucking fantastic.
Have you checked out the new Star Trek Picard?
No, but I want to.
I really would like to.
That's on CBS.
Yeah,
just-
that's the problem now. Okay,
I've got a trial thing for that, so I should totally
Yeah.
fucking watch it and cancel it.
Yeah.
I'm holding out for The Stand. It's coming out early December.
Stand.
It was a novel by Stephen King. I think it was a solid 3-4 pound book if you got it in hardcover. And it got made into a mini series on network TV shit like 20, 30 years ago.
Holy shit.
Had like Gary Sinise and Molly Ringwald.
Really?
And so they've got a new one now that's coming out on CBS Plus. And so the idea of it is this virus, Captain Trips, is a pandemic. And it kills pretty much everybody. And then The Stand is the story of, the small groups of people who are left over after that.
Yeah.
And it ends up becoming a referendum on humanity's sense of humanity.
So
So I'm like, all right, I will pay you for 1 more month if I can watch this, and then I will cancel my subscription.
So this is where I think you and I might lose, Todd. How many Stephen King books have you read? Because I've read a lot of his books.
I read pretty much all of them up to like Dolores Claiborne or Gerald's Game. I don't remember which one of those came out after. But I read pretty much his whole catalog up through that, and also like his he did some work as Richard Bachman.
Yeah.
He wrote the Running Man as Richard Bachman.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, shit.
So he had a number of different ones that he did. So I'm a voracious reader, so I read pretty much all of them up until like the
Have you
mid-90s.
have you read his Dark Tower series? Not your cup of tea. Yeah,
No.
I read them all. I loved them. To me,
I
it's
feel
like
like
his
I
Lord
read
of the Rings.
I feel like I read like the first book or
The Gunslinger.
yeah. The first book or the first 2 books, but I know I didn't finish the
Well,
series.
they've done okay. So like when it comes to, I'm sorry, Todd. In just a moment, 1 more minute. So when it comes to like Stephen King's work, you want to talk about you want to talk about how many of his books have been made into movies and TV series. It's most of them.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, like Pet Sematary. Okay, let's just go down the list of movies that you may not have known were Stephen King. Carrie, Cujo, Christine, fucking Pet Sematary, Needful Things, which is one of my favorite books, by the way.
One thing you said was Needful Things that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that all those movies. I thought everyone
It.
knew all those.
It,
Of course.
It.
Green
Stephen
Mile.
King's
Was it Green Mile?
The Green
He
Mile.
did the Green Mile.
The Green Mile was in a novella called. I'm pretty sure it was in there. called The Four Seasons, which had another story called The Body, which was made into Stand By Me.
Really?
And it also had another one called Sometimes They Come Back.
He puts his stamp on a lot of these things.
Yeah.
Like, it was called Stephen King's It.
Yeah.
Back when it was made.
Yeah.
I mean, The Shining, which was fantastic.
Oh my God, I forgot about The Shining.
He actually remade that one.
Trilogy of Terror?
He what?
He remade it. He didn't like Kubrick's adaptation. He felt like it didn't express the vision that he saw for it. So he ended up producing one that was like a 2 or 3 part miniseries on network TV back in the 90s. Had like one of the dudes from Wings.
I have to watch all of these
things.
But like
the younger brother, right?
Yeah.
Not Tim Daly, but the younger
But the other one.
Yeah.
what else?
And it was a really diligent adaptation of the book, which
if it was made by him,
yeah.
If it was made by him, it fucking better be.
But
Tommy
now
Knockers.
I've never seen that. Oh,
Late
shit.
last night and the night before,
Tommy
Knockers
I
knocking at my door. I want to go out, but I don't know if I can because I'm so afraid of that Tommy Knocker man.
Oh my God, that's like Stephen King run.
Body Snatchers. Who's that made one? But if that wasn't him, he did something like that. But
I think maybe you're thinking Watchers, which was Dean Koontz.
I feel like Dean Koontz. I feel like Dean Koontz is like the sad man Stephen King. Like everyone knows.
He does a Stephen King novel, but he does it in under 400 pages.
Oh, that makes a little more sense.
So like it is like what? It's well over 1,000 pages. The Stand is way over 1,000 pages. I mean, they're like James Michener long.
I just know he's always talking about like chrysanthemums and shit. Like he's always talking about flowers and shit.
Body Snatchers.
And the taste of stale potato salad on the back of your palate.
Oh wow! I'm just always like, bro, we're not all from like all going down the desert, or like going down some place in California where there's a lot of fucking chrysanthemums and shit.
Children of the Corn.
Oh, dude, I keep hearing that
rattle.
That's also Stephen King. I can't believe I forgot that.
Please tell me.
By the way, Trilogy of Terror. Have you seen that?
I have.
How the hell? Trilogy of Terror 1 and 2. That's Stephen King.
Really?
No.
Yeah, bro. So just picture just like how they do Tales from the Crypt.
Oh my
God.
God.
It's just three of those. It's just 3 of those. And both of them end with the fucking monster, the little doll, the little African doll.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. I remember the doll.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been a long time.
That's it's Trilogy of Terror 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah, but it had like that the creep show theme.
Yeah.
It was the same type of thing.
Oh, that's great.
Which is kind of like what Tales from the Crypt, like, they ripped off that. They just put that skeleton on there talking.
Okay.
But yeah, Trilogy of Terror, bro, those are classics. And 2 is just as good and just as creepy as 1.
So from what I'm seeing here, the Trilogy of Terror was written by a Dan Curtis, but that might just be for the TV series. I'm having trouble finding who wrote like the... I don't know anything about Trilogy of Terror. 1975 American made-for-television anthology horror film directed by Dan Curtis and starring Karen Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Karen.
Yeah, so I don't think Stephen King had a hand in those, but shit, I'll watch these. That sounds awesome. What else? What else has Stephen King done? Because there's a TV show not a TV show, a series on Hulu, I think, called Castle Rock, which is based on a lot of his...
Castle Rock Productions is his production company.
Yeah? Okay. So, like, they did, like, a kind of a prequel to Misery where they showed Annie Wilkes when she was younger before she found, like, Paul's novels and...
An axe?
Yeah. So, then the one before that was, like... It kind of tied into Shawshank, but then there was, like, some crazy alternate dimension, and the Skarsgård dude who played it was in there.
Yeah, he has a lot of bleed over in books from, the things that he mentions that are from other parts of his...
Which is cool.
Stephen King's main.
Yeah.
It's like, it's over in Derry.
And I dig that shit. I dig the crap out of, like, an extended universe. Like, you're getting into Tolkien territory when you're making your own.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the volume of work that he's got with that, it's fantastic.
Yeah. He's a master. He's a monster. He's a beast. Like
something that I'm disappointed it hasn't happened yet, but I'm hopeful that it will one day. Because Stephen King is a fanatical baseball fan.
Oh, word.
Like every year, he and Kevin Costner are always at the College World Series. Like just because they're both crazy baseball fans, and like I'd love to have Stephen King do up the great old sport of baseball as only Stephen King can.
So you're saying like a book based around baseball, but Stephen King-y?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I mean, think about it.
Something horrible happens to a fucking baseball player.
You know, it'd be like Field of Dreams, but, the negative exposure. It's like, no, they're coming for you.
Field of fucking nightmares.
right.
Field of horrible ambiguity.
I'm sad that he's already used corn. It'd have to be like, soybeans around the baseball field instead, to avoid any potential litigation.
I
when
would
they
like
come
to
up
see,
out the beans.
I would like to see Stephen King, I would like to see kind of a Tales from the Crypt, but with Stephen King as the host.
You want to hear him talk?
Well, yes, actually, because he's fucking creepy. You ever listen to him talk?
Yes.
He's terrifying. I'm saying, he's perfect. Just put him on the screen and, be like, this is one of my books that I wrote back in 1984, and it's about a fucking car that kills people. Enjoy.
Yeah.
And then you have people play out the short stories or whatever, and you've got so much work that you could make anthologies and come back weekly with different parts of it.
Yeah.
Especially with, I think they're making a Dark Tower series. I think they're trying to make a TV because they tried a movie and it had Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
All right.
But nobody watched it, and I didn't watch it, and I love those fucking books. But here's hoping the TV series will do it some justice.
Just put it on Netflix. They'll do anything.
For real. Ugh. I love the Dark Tower. Thank you.
So I've got another anecdote for you.
I don't understand. Sorry. I was looking at this Trilogy of Terror thing.
Yeah. See, I can't find anything on there about Stephen King.
How the fuck?
I think
I
that
could have sworn.
1975. I mean, Stephen King's old, but he's not that old. I think he may have been
I was going to say, he was writing Carrie right around that time.
Yeah.
In 1975?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
He was still on cocaine in those days. And alcohol.
1940. Oh, he's
been
old. Holy shit,
Yeah,
he's
he is
73.
that old,
I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah.
Jeez. You know what? I'll say, Mr. King, you've been keeping it together pretty well. I mean, keep off the sauce.
In the late 70s, I think is around the time it was. He was just a fucking mess. He has books that have been bestsellers that he doesn't remember writing, according to his own admission. Jesus. And his wife had to helped him get off everything pretty much. And that's probably why he's still alive.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you got off most of that shit before you were 40. You've got a good chance. You're doing that at 60. It's a little different.
That's interesting. Or maybe you're Amy Winehouse and you die at 27.
He probably has a liver farm.
Well, maybe. I'm saying, bro, but there's some people that just never even make it to that thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm lucky to have survived. Yeah, motherfucker, you are.
The Colts of 27.
Yeah, right. The Hendrixes, the fucking Jim Morrisons.
Wasn't Amy Winehouse?
Amy Winehouse.
She was 27, yeah?
Yeah, she's my age.
Jesus Christ, let's find out.
Me and her were born the same month.
2011, she was 27 years old. Wow.
I mean, not to make you feel bad or anything, but there's only 12 months in the year.
That's true.
Or as I tell people, it's like, hey, I got the same birthday as that person. It's like, the ratio of people to days of the year.
They aren't in your favor.
Just saying.
Well, fair. I mean,
you'd be lucky not to meet someone born the same day as you.
Have you ever?
Yes.
You have?
Meet people not born the same day as me?
No. Have you ever met people born the same day as you?
Yes. You want to talk the exact same day or the same day and year?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Have you?
Yeah, actually, one pretty recently. I gotta say, usually I like you. You're all right.
Yeah.
I had a horrifying thing happen to me today. I was in the produce section at the store, and behind me, suddenly hear a woman scream, "Isaiah!"
Jesus.
I dropped the onion. That I was holding. I turned around. And here's this woman hollering after her little 2-year-old toddler who's intrepidly sprinting down an aisle. I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, my God.
Flashback.
I haven't ran into a lot of people with the same name as me. And like usually like what it does, it's like a small child somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like I'll hear their mom yelling. It's like, yes, ma'am. Speaking of, involuntary response.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a level of conditioning that goes into
Just remember your
involuntary
mom.
response.
Well, that's more Pavlovian than instinctual.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But behavior can be conditioned as much as it is instinctual.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Behavioral traits, like genetic traits and societal traits, I think are just as...
I always, whenever
just as strong.
I think of those two arguments, I always come back to Trading Places. The Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd movie. Like, the two old men, that was their
We're back, Mortimer.
We're back, Mortimer.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
Coming to America, though.
Yeah, it was.
That was, but yeah, that's why, yeah.
But I always come back to that movie because it's the nature versus nurture argument. It's like, if you take someone who's born in a shitty situation and put them in give them a decent education, give them a decent job, teach them right from wrong, are they going to fail or flourish? Or if you take someone who had all those advantages growing up and put him in a shitty situation, he's probably going to fail. Like, I think if you take someone out of a bad situation and put them in a good situation, you can give them the means to excel more often than not, and they will respond in kind. But if you put someone who's never had any hardship in his life and throw him in a shitty hellhole with no hope, he's fucked.
Yeah.
He's fucked. Like, you're fucked. You're fucked.
And I also think that hope can come from, unexpected places. And I've got a story for that.
Before you go into that, in Trading Places, that hope came in the form of Jamie Lee Curtis's gorgeous,
God bless her.
That's the only thing I remember about that movie.
yeah, magnificent, gorgeous, beautiful breasts. Oh, I love you, Jamie Lee Curtis.
All those dudes watching.
You're a herm, but that's okay.
You're a what?
No, it's the urban legend that Jamie Lee Curtis actually born with male chromosomes as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Whoa.
as a hermaphroditic person would be.
Damn.
I don't know. Maybe it's
I don't
urban
know.
legend, but it's
Because of her
it's made urban legend.
pronounced
checklist.
jawline? Is that it?
I think that designers like to call it flawless bone structure.
Okay.
It just sounds more glamorous.
Well, how ironic is it, like, if all of this transgenderism and, like, rights and all that crap has taught us, like, the perfect man, or the perfect woman is always going to be a man.
Oh, damn. That's just fucked.
I mean, think about it, though. Like, who's the woman who likes all the sports and, fucking, I don't know. Oh, God. Pounds fucking 6-packs of beers. I don't know, man.
they're fun for the girls who like to pound beers are fun for the first couple of years.
There was an episode of
Yeah.
House. There was an episode of House that was like that exact same premise of like this pop idol, this young teen pop idol who was super attractive and gorgeous and everyone loved her, but it turns out that she was born a dude. And I was like, okay, it was House, right? It was House. But I remember Hugh Laurie just walking away in the scene and he's just like, how ironic. The perfect man or the perfect woman was a man, and then, the girl is just screaming, I'm beautiful.
Oh, no.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the punchline of a stand-up routine.
Or just a lot of lives.
I think it's the hot to crazy.
We're talking about the Barney
stand-up.
Stinson.
Yeah,
We're bringing out the Barney
found
Stinson
this. She's
chart.
just the perfect woman. That's a dude.
It's yeah.
So, to do a story back of about how behavior can be conditioned versus instinctual.
Sure.
I spearheaded a program that worked with a company that provided care and work for folks of diminished capacity.
Okay.
And so for some of them, like they could work in this warehouse putting stuff in boxes, and they had they'd go rock climbing and do events and stuff like that. And they would also work with ones that could go and work in a business. They would work with placing them. But a lot of the folks were, so particular in their care needs and their capacity that they had to stay on campus. Mm-hmm. So I put together a hydroponic garden for them to have there. And I would go in, I got it worked out where I'd go in like once a week. And I had my liaison, Betty, who's a wonderful person. And I'd go in, work on stuff, and sometimes the clients that were there, they'd come and help out, whatever. One day I'm there working on something, and I feel somebody looking at the back of my neck, and I turn around, and here's this lady named Jane. Jane didn't talk. Jane, as far as anybody knew, didn't talk. And she's standing there looking at me. I'm like, hi, how are you? And she says, what you doing? I'm like, well, I'm transplanting tomatoes right now. Do you want to help? She says, yeah. She comes in, and I walk her through it. We end up potting a bunch of hydroponic tomato plants. And she was real interested and had me explain to her everything. And I was like, this is really great, because I had never talked to her before. And my liaison, Betty, comes up and off she wanders. And Betty's like, I'm like, yeah, she was just helping me do this and whatever. And she's like, I've been here for 3 years, and she's never spoken. And after that, she'd go and she'd let people know what was going on with the plants and how to do everything exactly the way that I showed her. And that's the only time that she'd talk. And, it was really exciting that the way that she responded to the plants and to the horticulture. And that put her somehow into a space where she was able to overcome, her conditioned behavior of silence.
So it was the plants, or was it a combination of you and the plants? Or
we were all there, but she would afterwards, okay. Though, she would talk when she was working with the plants, and she wouldn't talk any other time.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, so when she was talking, the first person she went to talk to was who? When asked about the plants, was it just all you guys?
It was me. I was there by myself. There wasn't anybody else helping me at the time, which is why when she came up, I would always, if anybody was interested, I'd try to engage them.
Right. So you were the first person.
Yeah. And so, and she was just really interested about it. And so I just explained everything to her as we were doing it, and she was really interested. And then after that, I found when people were working on the garden, she'd go up and talk to them, look at them and talk to them and make sure they were doing everything
right. But do you think there's a correlation between her talking to you, you explaining that was a form of communication? She felt maybe she wanted to talk this whole time. She just in her mind couldn't figure anything to talk about and how to portray it.
I can see that because she was more interested in talking. But then
with you, she was able to find something that she could connect.
Yeah.
And because you also made it easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you had knowledge of this thing that she was interested in. Now, this is her way of being able to communicate at all.
I certainly felt the whole time. I felt the whole time that she was a whole lot more interested in the plants than she was in talking to me.
Really?
Yeah. It was
just are you just being humble?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was super into it, and finding that one thing that somehow sparked her imagination and put her into a place where she was then able afterwards to communicate with people. She chose not to really outside of the context of the garden, but in the context of the garden, she would talk to people and have regular conversation.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
cool. It was just something she needed to. It was her catalyst.
It was really gratifying because one of the ways I sold them on the idea of letting me do it was the idea that horticultural therapy, could reach people, and then
So,
Made the nonverbal person verbal.
yeah.
My work here is done. I'll be back next Monday.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro.
That whole thing makes me think of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where he hands the chief some, piece of gum, and he goes, juicy fruit. Thank you.
Random piece of trivia for you on that. The original book by Ken Kesey, upon which the movie's based, there's a scene in there where Big Chief gets electroshock therapy.
Ugh.
So the author, Ken Kesey, for the book, that whole episode of Big Chief getting electroshock therapy, it's written completely different.
Really?
It's its own vignette inside of it. And what Kesey did is he went and voluntarily underwent electroshock therapy, and while he was still woozy from it, he wrote that chapter.
That's fucking
That's
nuts.
dedication.
That's
dedication.
dedication.
Method writing.
Yeah.
Also, this is the guy that helped turn the United States onto LSD, so I suppose for him maybe electroshock therapy wasn't as daunting as would be for the rest of us.
He sounds like a cat who hangs out with Andy Warhol on the weekends, man.
Yeah.
Certainly
LSD
the Rolling
and looking at
Stones and the
soup
Grateful
cans.
Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What a day, man.
Yeah.
It's raining outside again. This fucking weather has been... Here I am talking about the weather.
Bro, it's getting cold.
It is getting... Well, I mean, it's Hawaii, so no, it's not. But
It's
I
getting
know what you
cold
mean.
for Hawaii.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. When I talk to people back on the mainland, and of course talking about the weather is just, it's what people do.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cold here. Got some snow, whatever. And I was like, yeah, it's 82 and partly sunny right now.
Yeah.
Same as it was yesterday. Like, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love saying it's cold here. I love it.
Yeah.
Just to see the reaction. Because, I'm from Ohio.
Yeah.
So, like, I know, negative 20. That's pretty cold.
That sounds cold. I've never experienced that. The
Yeah.
lowest I felt is 40 degrees, and I did not
Your
enjoy
pipes
it.
start to freeze.
Oh, bro.
Your pipes start to freeze.
Oh, bro.
And then I think negative 40 was the lowest I had to deal with, and that was the river started to freeze.
Oy.
Because rivers are constantly in motion; they're not supposed to freeze.
Yeah.
And it literally just got a nice clean sheet
Go play some
Wow.
hockey.
over it.
Dude,
and,
no.
and yeah, so yeah, I do feel the nippiness. Don't get me wrong. I've been here for over a decade. I've lost my winter skin, but I definitely know what it feels to fucking freeze, bro. And have a car break down in that shit. People, oh God, I ran out of gas, and you just have to walk over the hill.
I'm pretty sure that cars
Please, man.
break down way more often and malfunction way more often when it's cold.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Or
There's a whole warming up thing you
get
have to
stuck
do.
in the snow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But if you're at a good spot, people will pull over and help shovel you out and get your car moving. I've been that guy a lot of times, and
I've been on both sides.
now I'm on a indefinite hiatus from shoveling any snow.
Absolutely, sir.
Well,
Amen
we'll
to
see what climate change has to say
It's a
about
great
that.
cardio.
Hey,
though.
well, in that case, bro, I'm headbutting a bus. Please. Like, if it starts snowing in Hawaii, it's over. I'm not talking about on the Big Island. I know there's always snow on the volcano.
You're going to be the guy
I'm talking
volunteering to
about-
live on a submarine. It's like, if I'm underwater, at least there's no snow.
No, because I'm not going under there. Like, when I was in the Navy, I was like, the fuck? No. There's no way in hell. If you guys tell me right now, you might as well honorably discharge me, because I'm not going on a submarine. That's half the battle. You're already down there. All you need to do is spring a leak. I at least want to spring a leak on the top, where I have a chance to jump off that motherfucker.
Yeah, the atmospheric pressure will do the rest
Yeah,
on
there's
there.
no-
You're just, where are you going to go? What you going to do?
There's no bailing out at 800 feet.
No, dude, come on. You're just a dude. In there with your recycled shit air. Everyone just farting and shitting. And no women either. No women. So
Just a questionable barrel.
Yeah, dude. You know, just all that air. Yeah, that's it.
Depends on if it's your night or not.
No, no, they have toilets and shit, but I mean, it's just fucking. It's that air that oxygenated, re-oxygenated, going through the filtering system and all that horse shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's still going to be shit particles. Eventually, when you're down there, you haven't surfaced for a fucking month. You know.
Yeah, but man, activated carbon can do some amazing things.
You ever seen
Sorry,
Das Boot?
bro. Huh?
You ever seen Das Boot?
You asked me this before.
Have you ever seen Das Boot?
Wolfgang Peterson
Wolfgang Peterson, fucking starring Jürgen Prochnow. It's about a bunch of Nazis on a sub during World War II.
Oh yeah, we definitely.
Yeah, we talked about that. Aw, it's a good movie.
Fun fact about that movie. You know how they have those shots in there where it's like the people running down the corridors as the camera's following them?
Vaguely.
Or like as they're running and the camera's right in front of them and it's just this far in front of them as they're running.
Mm.
Wolfgang Peterson, it's a particular kind of like dolly shot, a rail shot. And Wolfgang Peterson developed it. That was the first movie that used that. And now like, you see it in everything.
That's cool. I get what you're saying now. That's dope.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All
Awesome
right.
sauce.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. What else we got on the docket? What are the minutes? I mean,
Hit the loo.
the Lou.
I love how we just. Dude, how many languages have we adopted?
What do you mean?
'Cause the loo, the loo
Oh.
is definitely English.
That's
I mean,
like
so that was America's inception. I mean, the invading America's inception was English. So there's that. I mean, like French stuff, hors d'oeuvres. We would just say that shit like it's an English word.
Well, okay, so you're talking about
C'est
like
la vie, motherfucker.
words borrowed from other languages.
Yeah,
Well, isn't that what cultural appropriation is, Todd?
absolutely,
Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
absolutely.
Well,
I'm just
I don't
wondering.
know. Do you
in our
want to think
day-to-day
about the
lives, like,
languages that your ancestors might have spoken?
we did not do that here.
Like
If anything, like Mandingo from fucking Roots, bro, and Zulu from Shaka Zulu.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like, at what point were your ancestors speaking fucking Swahili or the Bush Clicks?
Like, I'd like to know, like, if you look into the Filipino language, they know it's taught like in school, dude. All like the different influences
Okay.
of their language. Like for outside people, it's just Tagalog or But for them, like they know where all of those different things
Sure.
come from.
Well-
like, when we just say stuff all the time, and you don't even think about.
Well, like saying, like, taco.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to
dude.
eat a burrito. Like, we're talking about.
Codes for being hungry?
No, just words we appropriate like into this language. Like, first of all, is there anything specific to the American
English language.
the English language like that we actually
Well, I guess that's when you're going into different dialects.
yeah.
Because we're still speaking the same English as those motherfuckers in England, although they're not even speaking the same English sometimes. You got those pikey motherfuckers who are like, I hate you,
Yeah.
And then you've got the
You go
Queen of England.
Ulster, Ireland, you know, like
Yeah.
what you think's an Irish accent. They don't sound anything like that. It's just
Yeah.
a lot of mumbling.
Yeah. And then we have Atlanta. I went down there and I was like, are they speaking Swahili?
I like to tell people, it's like, you know, like take somebody from, you know, Boston, Massachusetts and take them to, you know, Abbeville, Louisiana. And tell me we're speaking the same, the common
The
tongue.
answer is no. So
there's like a video of, I don't know, some shit. It's some black dude and he's, you know, given the prompt of say this sentence. It is Aaron earned and iron earned. And he said, people from Baltimore say, earn and what?
Is it what?
Aaron earned and iron earn. And it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
There's the other one, which is they use for the North, which is how now brown cow.
How now, brown
And it comes
cow?
out something, and of course I'll butcher it, but it comes out a bit more like, hey, brown cow.
Where's that from?
That's the way it was approximated to me.
Hey, nay, brain K.
Okay.
Hey, nay!
Like if you're Mike Myers playing Shrek.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, donkey! Hey, nay, brain K. I think that's about as good as I can get for that. Like a Scottish brogue.
Yeah.
We are the 3 men of Scotland. We follow Robert the Bruce.
I read an interesting article that referenced me to a podcast I listened to earlier this morning. And the idea behind it is, one of the things is like, why is English such an unusual language? And English is part of a larger Germanic family.
Indo-European family.
Which is a subset of the Indo-European. Yeah. And one of the things that's been worked out, and it certainly hasn't been proven beyond a reasonable doubt, but it seems like a pretty reasonable hypothesis, is they found a lot of correlations between Phoenician and differences between Proto-German and some of the other Germanic languages.
Okay.
And, going from the way that the rune system's laid out, and the Phoenicians were the folks that kind of started the
alphabet.
That made the alphabet a big piece of technology.
Well, you think about the word alphabet. What does it make you think of? It makes me think of alpha, beta, gamma, delta.
Yeah.
Or in Hebrew, the aleph bet.
Aleph Bay. Oh shit! He even goes. Oh man. So I'm probably just talking about him out of my ass then.
Well, no, but it's all based on that. But the way that it worked out. So, like, if you think about it, the original Phoenician and Greek and Roman that based their alphabets off of that didn't do it quite the same way. The Phoenician, each symbol meant something. Each letter meant something. So, like, what we would consider the A, and if you look at that shape, that was the bull. You turn it over, it looks like a bull's head. But in Latin language tradition and Greek language tradition, even though they took the alphabet from the Phoenicians, they changed it so that each letter is a sound, so they're smaller blocks, and that's the way that we do things now.
Yeah.
One of the things about runes is that they follow the same thing, where each one is it's an actual object. And the way they worked it out is the first one was a word for cowherd.
Interesting.
And so number of other correlations, but it's really interesting to see that, like, maybe there were Phoenician Carthaginians. There certainly were in Denmark around 500 BCE.
Right.
Well, that opens a whole nother can of beans when you're talking about like world languages and writing, because I think one of the earliest forms of writing that we know of was the cuneiform.
Cuneiform in Sumeria.
Yeah, Sumeria, and then that spread to like Mesopotamia.
Same place.
Same place? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. So it's been a while since I've been in a fucking college history class. Oh, what was my point? But then, okay, so cuneiform, the shapes were meant to display concepts, weren't they? It was the same thing as, like, Egyptian hieroglyphics.
No, they were Egyptian hieroglyphics or pictograms. So, like, it's actual characters, whereas cuneiform, what they would do is they would have these clay tablets, and they had a sharp stylus, and they would effectively cut notches into the clay cylinder, and then it would harden up. So it was like a series of notches that they cut.
Okay. Okay. So a little more, I guess I would relate that to, like, kanji? Because, like, I feel there are a billion different fucking symbols in kanji, right? Like the Chinese language, and they are all different concepts.
Mandarin?
Yeah. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean,
sorry, you got me thinking about kanji soup for a minute. I was distracted.
Kanji is like because it's not just kanji; it's kanji and something else. But it's the form they use. But theirs is also expressive.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know what I mean. It's like it also, like, this means a waterfall. This means this. You know what I mean.
But if you spell it like this and then flip it around,
exactly,
it
means something else.
Yeah.
You know, like attacking warrior, which means blah blah blah.
Korean is similar in that aspect, but because I think it's modern Korean's based off of is effectively like Middle Age era Chinese, but the form that it takes when you write it is effectively the shape your mouth's making and the movement your tongue is making when you speak it.
That's pretty cool. Okay, that makes me want to learn Korean a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a really simple language. It has fewer letters than
It's
English.
not simple. It's not. Sorry. We tried to do this. We tried to do. We have to do a little thing for when I was an ambassador. So you could just like say hi and like, can I help you? Blah blah blah. In these different languages. So we had to do the Korean course. We had to do the Mandarin course, bro. And fuck that. Like, give me just fucking. Where's the Spanish? Like, I mean, something with some words and shit I can understand, because what happens is like the first two things you learn, you're like, okay, like that makes sense, and then they just start hitting you, and it just pushes that shit right out. And bro, you just look with that look on your face, like, bro.
And it's such a different mindset.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, once you start getting into the language, you realize culturally, you know, how much different the common tradition is from English versus, you know, Mandarin.
I was thinking about this on the way here, actually. Like, you know how when we watch an anime or some shit after somebody's translated it, right? But then when you start to kind of dig into how Japanese sentences are structured, you kind of realize it's all really backwards.
Yeah, they say them backwards, yeah.
So if someone were to speak in English like they spoke Japanese, they would pretty much speak like Yoda.
Yeah.
Korean's the same way. I wouldn't say you have a podcast. I'd say a podcast you have.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking about on the way here. And it's like, it's cool. It's fucking cool.
I think it's cool. Absolutely.
Well, one of the things that we have in English is, well, like we have things like going to, you know, like things that we use to modify verbs.
Right.
That a lot of other languages,
they just cut out the fat and say, I go.
Yeah.
They do, but the context changes. So if you look at European languages particularly, like now they've got like all sorts of verb modifiers based on how many people are in there. You have a different word for that. Yeah. Whereas in English, it's a little bit more streamlined by adding, you know, like modifiers.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So you're modifying the verbs a little bit.
Yeah.
Gosh. I'm going to blame it on the Budweiser. I should be able to explain this a little more eloquently.
Yeah. Like, how's one of the things? Like, if you were just saying, crap, that's not a good one.
So
just saying good morning.
An example would be, and we're going to go with Korean. It's not what you say, but how you say it goes a long way. So the way you say something is determined by the person with whom you're speaking.
Right.
So exactly. It has to do with how much respect you're looking to denote.
Okay.
So, like the 안녕하세요, which would be like the hello, you said 안녕. That's actually the word, but you would only use it in that context when addressing a small child.
Oh.
So the 안녕하세요, that is the yo makes it more formal.
Right.
So like how in Japanese they say they have the honorifics san,
yes,
chan,
yes,
kun,
yes,
sama.
Yes. Same general concept.
Yeah. So like I would say
you know,
I would say magandanga be if I was just saying good evening to you in Tagalog, but I would say magandanga be po.
Because Po would make it more respectful.
Yeah, because it's formal. Like I'm saying Mr. or Mrs. You know,
it's the same. It's the same.
Like I would just say good morning, good evening,
Mr.
and Mrs. You know, so and so.
It's the same concept. Yeah. Interesting.
There was a guy named Steven Pinker, and he's a linguist for MIT for a long time.
Sounds so familiar.
And he wrote a book called The Language Instinct. Yeah. And for a long time, the prevalent idea is that the development of language was a side effect of cultural development. And he did a lot of study and research into the idea that perhaps language is something that we do instinctually.
Mm.
And he found somewhere in Latin America, I want to say Ecuador, but I wouldn't swear it was, but a small country in Latin America, and there was a colony of for deaf children.
Mm.
So they'd never experienced, or perhaps they were mute. No, I think they were deaf. But anyhow, they couldn't hear.
Vocalize, yeah.
But they developed their own language for communicating with each other.
By what means?
Because they could still make
Expression.
sounds, expression,
Oh.
and it was something that was unique just to them. And
Well-
so he used that as the basis for his hypothesis that language, that need to communicate, is instinctual rather than a byproduct of civilizing.
Well, I would agree with that on the basis of you watch monkeys scream in the jungle, you got one looking out saying, "Hey, fucking jaguar!" Like,
Yeah, and they know all of those different
and they
ones.
know those different calls.
Yeah.
And if someone comes by and learns those different calls, they could probably fuck with that. Actually, the monkeys do that themselves.
Yeah, they do. They make other calls to make the monkeys do this to throw them off guard, and
Yeah.
then they'll come in from behind and fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. I'm sure different
That
monkeys.
we're no smarter than monkeys.
Yeah, well, no, that we're fuck, man, we're barely smarter than monkeys at this point.
Yeah,
I always like the T-shirt. A shaved monkey could do my job.
bro, for real.
That's how I felt
And
about
I
most
shaved
of my
this
jobs.
morning.
Yeah, some of my jobs they could probably do a better job than I did. They'd at least be paying attention.
I'd rather deal with monkeys at the DMV than the monkeys that are already at the DMV.
Absolutely.
At least fucking Bubbles.
I guarantee. Yeah.
Like Bubbles will probably give me a fist bump, and like I'll just give him a banana.
I tell you what, it would be good for the first 30 years before they
Rise up.
before they got Americanized.
Before they get
everyone
Caesar.
comes here, because at first, like our situation with the UI or whoever's situation with the UI, like it would be fine because they would just be stamping. They wouldn't be taking coffee breaks, no cigarette breaks. That's what's happening. Taking 30-minute shits because they don't really feel
They
like
can
it.
multitask and
Playing
eat that
Angry
banana
Birds.
while they're working.
Playing Angry Birds,
I just want to. Oh man.
They would just be stamp, boom, stamp, boom, stamp, boom.
That
and
vision-
the average would be 2 weeks, and then give them like get out of the monkeyness, and eventually you see monkeys out there fucking.
We're going to
smoking
get
a
this
spliff.
process for you as soon as possible. We're not just going to rubber stamp it. We're going to gorilla stamp
Yeah,
it.
it'd be like ooh 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 ooh, and then
Okay.
after I'd be like, ooh,
That
ooh,
takes me-
ooh
that takes me-
ooh 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 ooh.
That gives me a couple of thoughts in my head. First one is I'm imagining a monkey in literally what they call a monkey suit, sitting on a toilet playing Angry Birds while taking a shit in an office setting. And then the second that comes to mind is the monkey planet from Futurama, where they had all the smart apes and like the orangutan was a professor, and you know the professor's monkey. What was his name? Gilbert Gottfried. Fuck.
It was Adolfo?
No.
Gustavo?
Fuck. Doesn't matter.
Futurama.
Futurama,
Smart
great,
monkeys.
great fucking show. Smart monkeys, and
And
it's
Zab
like
Grant Brannigan crashes into the ape planet at the end.
Zag
she's
Brannigan.
built like a steakhouse, but she handles like a bistro.
I don't remember one line that dude says. I wish I could, just because of his voice. I don't really have a way with words, which is why I find myself
I've
in
always-
such a delicate conundrum.
I've always found that the most attractive part of the woman is the boobies.
Is that kind of like saying cunnilingus is an acquired taste?
I would disagree. I'm not sure about that one. I'll have to come back with you. Come back to you.
It's kind of like blue cheese dressing.
I like blue cheese.
You can just go ahead and not put that part into the podcast.
No,
We're
it's
gonna.
fine. We're
It's
going
in there,
to.
buddy. Everything we said is going in here.
Pretty much.
That's what we. You know.
Oh, well, in that case, I guess I got to wear that blue cheese.
I mean, yeah, man. This whole thing is really just for us to like shout into the void. I feel like we like to talk shit,
Yeah.
I like to talk shit.
Absolutely.
I like to talk shit. I
That's
like
the
to
theme.
get angry every now and again at the fucking furries and the trannies who are ruining my video games.
Hey, we've really been on a tranny trip for the
I know,
past 3
and I
episodes,
feel
man.
bad. I feel bad. I just wish, unfortunately...
I want to say you spearheaded that for 2. I think I might have done it for 1.
Unfortunately, I have nothing else going on in my life. That is just the truth of it right now. Black Friday's coming up.
Everyone's going to look back and be like, he was right. It has been a lot of tranny tripping. But no.
Now that I think about it.
There's been a lot of tripping on a lot of fronts.
Yeah.
You know. Like, I had a comment. I think we should just keep comments anonymous, right?
Sure. Yeah.
It came out of the comment box. Who knows who put it there?
Yeah. But it was a comment. I'll pull it up real quick. About something we said.
Well, what was it that we said that prompted this comment? Do you remember?
I don't remember because I know it was something about Martin Luther King.
I love the man.
So the comment was, I agree that everyone is too sensitive. That being said, I do think that MLK and Malcolm do hold an important place in history.
Hell yeah, they do.
Without them, a myriad of things we do would not be possible. I still believe that at this point, you need to do what it takes to handle your own business. The most important thing about what happened is that we need to read it so we don't repeat it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty good counteract to something I would say, which is probably like, fuck Martin Luther King and fuck Malcolm X.
Todd, I've never heard you say anything along those lines until just now. I have
said it.
Like, I wouldn't agree with that, personally.
But I'm not saying it for real like that.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, when I walk into work and everyone's in the break room, and this is Atlanta, you know, so to see a bunch of black people in the break room, you know something's up. You know what I mean? Like,
why?
Well, let's just say, I mean, we take our breaks, but we take our breaks off campus. You know what I mean? So we can take our break and not be bothered by them saying blah, 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 blah. So if you see a bunch of us in the break room,
I think they're up to something.
Well, it's like this has to be a meeting, a company meeting or something going on, because I know fucking Shaniqua's ass, is always at the Zaxby's up the road.
Thank you so much for saying the name Shaniqua.
Yeah. I don't know anyone named Shaniqua.
Neither do I. But that for some reason Shaniqua has become like the
it's one of them, bro.
Yeah.
It's like Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah, I mean, whatever the
Shaniqua,
country version of that shit is.
Shanae, LaToya Jackson, Williams.
But all right, so the thing is, I walked in there, and everyone's in there, and it's like, hey, what the hell? Why is everybody in here? It's Martin Luther King Day. I was like,
you didn't answer my question.
Shit. I mean,
you didn't answer why you're in here.
Oh, of course I did. That said everything. I mean, when I said that, they looked at me like I just walked into a fucking white restaurant. You know what I mean? Like the music stopped. I was like, okay, my bad. I didn't realize it was supposed to be written on my soul.
Fucking Brooks and Dunn was on the radio and that jukebox just came.
You know, I mean, I get he did some stuff. But right now we're at Macy's.
Dude, it's a Monday
he's
off.
Still dead. All right, we weren't off. We were at work.
But if you work for the Postal Service or a bank or the Department of anything government, you're off that day. If you're a teacher, you're off that day.
Yeah. But it's kind of like
let's go get happy
the same
hour.
Way about that. Like for anyone who says like boxing is bad, you know, it's for the people that make it bad. That's
Beggars hate boxing.
For the ones that you know get killed or hurt because of human error, because of a horrible situation. It's bad for them, but how many thousands and thousands of people has it helped? You know, how many people that wouldn't have gone into a place productive had that not been introduced into their life? So I feel the same way about Martin Luther King and about Malcolm X. If the people that they're listening to or that are listening to them, if it's doing something good, if it's distracting them from doing something that they would otherwise be, you know, that would otherwise be destructive, then yes, absolutely it's a benefit. But that does not mean that I need to walk into fucking work and just know that shit.
I think
Got Rick tomorrow, baby.
I think this has become one of our catchphrases. But yeah, I got work in the morning. You know
I got
what I mean?
work in the morning.
I got fucking work in the morning. I don't,
Yet here you are.
and yet here I
Well,
am.
yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore,
Now
yeah.
I got Corona every day.
Yeah, now it's just
COVIDly unemployed.
Yeah.
COVIDly unemployed.
The world is sick with COVID.
Oy. You know what's funny? I've recently sort of returned to work. I'm getting like 2 days a week. And the only people I'm seeing walk in as far as tourists go are either Americans, Australians here and there, and Chinese people. That's it.
No Japanese folks, huh?
None.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
No.
none.
Of course, they want to stay home.
Way
They
to
want to
be-
stay out of it,
Way to be prudent and stuff.
bro. When anything
Like, hey, we
bad
live on an
happens-
island too. We're
No.
going with it.
When anything bad happens, they smile and go, "Okay, I will excuse myself." So this is an obstacle. We will choose definitely just to stay home and not face it.
Yeah, well, no, that's not even it, Todd. It's like you think about the history of
some of that's
Japan.
it. Go ahead.
Probably some of that too. You think about the history of Japan, and like for 200 years, they were literally shut off from the outside world. Like they didn't want nobody coming in. Like I think they maybe let in some Dutch. Like
So this is like par for the course then.
yeah, this is pretty much another day in Japan. Like
Yeah.
another day for
What's going on? Shut it off. We're
masks. Oh, you guys are
Send
just
them-
now wearing masks?
Yeah,
we've been doing that forever.
for 100 years.
Yeah.
We go into Louis Vuitton because it's all Asian people that go to Louis
To
Vuitton.
go back into
Asian
gear
people are rich
grinding
people.
mode for just a moment.
Please.
Folks on the mainland grind my gears a lot. Sorry, all you wonderful folks on the mainland, but sometimes you really grind my gears. Talking about the newest restrictions of this, that, and the other that I've had, and I just can't take it anymore. It's like, dude, we've been dealing with that nonstop since March.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Wait, that's why Chinese folks will come here, but they won't go to the mainland.
Yeah.
Well, we go where the mainland goes. Unfortunately, like if they can't get their shit together, we can't reopen and start living
Yeah.
again.
That's true.
Yeah.
But like I said,
We need
before,
that money.
if it all goes belly up, like if it doesn't go belly up here, it's not going to reach us. And we have enough fishing poles.
Yeah.
You know, we'll make it work.
Not enough fish
Like
though.
one of our okay.
Stupid.
You
Tasty
know what?
filet-fish
Hold on.
just in time for Lent.
Hold on, my dude. Not enough fish for who? For the people that are here, or the people that are trying to come here that we are not going to let in. You know, if we have enough fish in the ocean to sustain everyone on this island.
Save the whales.
Not enough fish
I
are
said enough
escaping
fish,
the
not
vacuum
sea people.
cleaners that are
Save
roving
the
the
whales.
I
oceans.
said fish, not sea people. You know, fish are like rabbits. You know.
Hey.
Sorry,
Sea people are fish too, okay?
they are. They're not people, but
How could you be so insensitive?
oh no, they're not fish. Oh, sea people are fish.
They're mer
I'm too
people.
high.
Mer people.
Too high. Hey, no, look, I'm not one of those fucking tree hugging. No offense to tree huggers, but I'm not one of them people. But
Have you
I am
ever?
saying,
Have you ever?
no.
Have you ever hugged a tree?
I'm pretty sure I haven't. Maybe I have when I was drunk. I don't know. I mean,
Dude, you should.
We've done
you should hug.
bonfires.
You should hug a tree sometime.
We've done bonfires.
Just hug a
Don't
tree
you
and
feel
think
his
about the
pain?
tree.
Fucking
Just
Fern
try.
Gully.
It was a spiritual experience. It opened up.
It
my fourth
won't be
chakra.
a spiritual experience. I'm pretty sure it'll be just like when I rub my arm up against the bark and it scratched my arm. It'll probably be something like that, just all over my body.
That's just sharing skin, Todd.
No, it's rubbing your fucking human skin up against bark and it rips your shit. That's
you're
what
sharing
happened.
your essence with the tree.
You're not
No,
trying to
I
climb
didn't
the
jizz
tree.
on it. I didn't jizz on it. I just rubbed my fucking shoulder.
That's
on
just sap.
it. Oh, so whenever I get sap on my fingers, that's tree
tree
jizz.
jizz.
You know, it just might be. I mean,
I'm not that kind of man.
Think about all
The
of
tree
your-
thought it was good because you lit a cigarette
Well,
after.
no.
He was like, "You're out here. You're in my house.
Well, think about
You're in
think
my
about
fucking
all the
house. I
times
could jizz wherever I want to. You do what you want to in your house, right?"
Think about all the times you took that delicious
ground is
maple
my
syrup
toilet
from those
paper.
trees and spread it on your pancakes, though.
Oh no,
I mean, honestly though,
we're all gay.
now that Harvey
We're on
Weinstein's
syrup.
behind bars, where are plants getting their jizz now?
Oh man.
I mean,
That may have gone over my head.
No, well, he's been
He's,
jizzing all over the place.
Yeah, I know his.
that was his
history.
thing. It's like, oh, and then he, did it in a plant.
Oh,
And apparently that was one of his things. So my thought is, it's like,
so he would get off.
Well, I mean,
okay.
Yeah,
there's a lot of hymns that aren't out there that are still jizzing in plants. I'm sure.
I know,
Jesus.
but it's like, I guess something we got to be talking about. Like, how can we make the world safer for plants? Plants too. Damn it.
Yeah, dude, that's not fair. Yeah, there's a lot of plants that
ficus didn't have it coming.
You know what the real problem is? The fire. It's those goddamn fires burning all the fucking plants down.
No, those are the real criminals.
Those are the real mother. We need to find the fires and we need to put them somewhere where they can't do any more harm.
Yeah,
some sort of camp.
Fires.
Maybe where we, I don't know, put them out.
I think we would really do death penalty to the fire if we could.
Why? That's cruel. We should just deport the fire.
No, we should listen to it. Maybe it has a legitimate gripe. Fires are people too.
They've got forests in Latin America. The fires would be happy there.
What's going on in the Amazon? We could put the fires there.
Yeah, just put them there. They'll be friends.
They've already got fires. They can make friends, and it'll be
they can join their fire
shining
friends in
moment.
the Middle East. God, oh my God, we're
fire
training. Okay, we're going way. We're really going out there now.
Yeah, sorry. Reel it back.
Yeah,
that's a healthy
sorry,
boy
fire.
You got there, sir.
Sorry, fire.
No, yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to offend any fire babies.
Yeah,
it's a useful
fire people.
Sorry, all you burners out there.
Any firekin, flamers, any.
No, you just offended gay people.
Well, hey man, the gays, they've got the rights. Hey man. They've got the rights, okay? Last I checked, there are plenty of rich gay dudes out there who can tell me to suck their dick and fucking throw honey in my face. You know what I mean? Like, Mario Cantone exists. He's probably got money. Who else is gay and famous? Neil Patrick Harris? I'd kiss him. He's handsome.
I wouldn't kiss him. Because, it's COVID.
Oh, yeah, that too. Well, pre-COVID.
And honestly, I always think of it as Doogie Howser, so it'd just be creepy.
I'm not a COVID sympathist.
I'll just imagine that he's the Neil Patrick Harris from the Harold and Kumar movies. And we're just trying to trick some women thinking we're gay so they'll fuck us. I don't know. Gays are fine. They're fine. I think they're fine. If you're gay, you're probably fine, especially if you're in Hawaii. If you're somewhere deep south where they still believe in Jesus, you might want to just move to Seattle.
Nah, you're fucked. No matter where you go, bro.
You think so?
Here's what I found out. 79 million people. Or 1,000 million. I wish it was 79,000. Voted for Mr. Joe Biden, if you're to believe these fucking...
79 million people voted for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Okay.
75 million voted for Trump. So gay people, no matter where you go, just as many people tell you they didn't have a fucking McRib, those are as many motherfuckers that voted for Trump.
Okay. So let's...
Everyone is lying. Half this country is racist.
I'm sorry.
Racist as fuck. Run and hide.
I'm sorry, Todd, but the McRib's back?
Oh, no, I've skipped over the most important part.
Well,
yes, sir.
Oh, sweet onions and pickles.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, that's where we're at, baby. That's where we're at.
The lines are just drawn.
That's where we're at. That's what I said before. I was like, we're already fucked. We were fucked before this fucker. I was like, the only thing he's gonna do if he wins is you're just going to see it, dude. You're just going to fucking see it. Like, oh my God, I just never thought, they're tampering in an election. That shit always happens. It's pretty much the point of a fucking election. It's just not, everyone's taking every fucking ballot here and da-da-da. But there's manipulations and all types of things. It's been going on for years and years and years, bro. You know what I mean?
Let's be realistic.
The racial lines have been drawn for years and years and years. My dude. You wanna know how many people were mad when Obama fucking got voted in office? 75 million, at least.
Or just
were mad.
Just look at the gun sales after he got elected, and then again after he got reelected. They spiked both times.
Really.
And now I also
the cynical investor would be.
I also don't want to be mean to the. Yeah, you're right. It spiked both times, which should tell you unrest because racism is a big deal.
Obama's coming to your home and he's going to eat your babies.
Trump babies or whatever. All of them. You know? But everyone got more guns when both of those people were elected. Why? Because they symbolize racism. Sorry, Obama, but you're in the same vein as Trump on that one. How shitty is that?
Quite.
How shitty is that?
I've got a.
But it's fine, bro. Sorry, it's fine. Like I'm still gonna smoke weed. And, we're still gonna be chilling.
I don't care who's in the office.
So here's something to think about. In Greek, the term democracy comes from Greek, which is demos, which is the people, society.
Mm-hmm.
So there's demos, and then the opposite of demos is idios. The person who will be like the individual, the one person who refuses to or chooses to not
He's the idiot.
act in society.
Like
So you look at that, of course,
That makes me think
democracy
there's so many-
and idiot are the two words we think of the most with that.
Yeah.
But the people, rather than it being individualism, rather it's like they're willfully choosing to act outside of society, yet somehow still expect the benefits of living in society.
Right.
And that pisses me the fuck off.
That's man, you put it so well. So well spoken. So okay, that makes me think of when we think of something that's an idiosyncrasy, right? Something that doesn't necessarily.
Idiosyncratic would be that. I'm trying to think how that breaks down. But it's like something that's unique to one person.
Okay.
So it's like be like a personal tick or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But
That
in
makes
what?
more
So
sense.
in what form are you expressing that? What you just said, like the groundwork you just laid out.
So yeah, idiosyncratic having
So,
nothing to do
yeah,
with
yeah.
what I was talking about, but
No, yeah, the thing you were talking about before.
yeah. So with that, the idea of individualism and the way that our society has been built upon that, upon valuing withdrawing from society, from civilization, and how that's considered to be somehow more quintessentially American than actually, working to clean up and the garbage on your street, get your potholes filled, that sort of a thing. It's like,
Right.
oh, we don't need the government to do anything. We're going to hole up here with our guns. We don't need anything.
Right.
And to me, that sense of American individualism has become a poison pill.
Absolutely, bro.
It's to the point where it's like that's what we built everything on. And then, Caesar wept when there were no more lands to conquer. So now we have to live in peace. We can't be constantly directing this, outwardly. We've been having a lot of difficulty starting new reasonable wars.
Yeah.
We've got these old ones we can't seem to get out of. We
Yeah.
need to get out of those so we can start new ones. And it's just, the house isn't selling as fast as we thought it was going to.
Absolutely.
But I
my
think
dude.
with that, though, people were so conditioned to be always adversarial, seeing enemies, and now that energy has been getting directed in for the last 30 years since the end of the Cold War, effectively.
Okay, yeah.
And
Okay.
I'd say even going back as far as maybe the 70s.
I would go back much further than that.
You look at the way that public education has been systematically dismantled. It's like, so faith in public education has been eroded. Then after that, faith in, elected officials,
Right.
faith in, appointed
It's
bureaucrats, and now
Yeah.
faith in the electoral process itself. And it's
There
just
you
this
go.
building
And that-
on top of
And
itself.
that goes back to my point is it was no more fucked up before than it's no more fucked up now than it was
No.
before. And it was a system that is working. Like stop allowing all of these new arguments. Everything doesn't need to be argued. Everything doesn't need to be put up on this list.
Well-
All of these things right now that are being talked about on both sides mostly, they're distractions. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
bottom line is you want to put this on the bad guy, whatever your bad guy is. Just my dude, just back up off of that. Like, the reason why it's so easy to throw dirt on Joe Biden is because they've been throwing so much dirt on Trump all this time. You know what I mean? Outside of the legitimate things that he has been fucking up.
And he has been a Washington insider for more than 4 decades.
How about that?
You know?
How about that, bro?
Well, going back to what Isaiah was saying about, like, you know, the erosion of education, faith in the electoral process, faith in the officials, that's all, like, the classic textbook, like, hallmarks of a democracy that's well on its way to collapse.
I was going to say, because all of those things, what do they have in common? They're all safeguards in place to protect a democratic society. You know, an educated populace is not as likely to fall for, you know, a populist, you know, heartthrob at the moment as an educated, deliberative sort of people. People who are involved in their own local politics are, you know, transmuting the will of themselves and their friends and neighbors at a local level. And when you've got that going, you know, like,
but then
it's a lot better than people saying, oh, it doesn't matter. And then people are getting elected with so few votes cast.
Yeah, well, now you, even on your, if you do have a basic level of that type of government, I mean, all you have to do is just put a mole in there. You know what I mean? All you have to do is just put somebody in there that could help spread the rhetoric. So,
like, queue, as it were.
Yeah, like, so even on the local level, like, if you, so much horse shit can just continuously be filtered in. So it's like, it's just really,
in that regard,
it's really complex, bro. Like,
it's extremely complex, especially when you talk about, like, to scale, right? Because you have thousands, hundreds of thousands of different communities, all with presumably the, you know, different opinions and voices and desires and all that shit, right? And then you try to bring it back, and then you have eventually, you know, all power. Power just always centralizes in one place.
It is its nature.
It is its nature. It's how it goes. Eventually, all that power is seated in one place. And then once you have all that power in one place, people can't help but grab at it, and then they start to, you know, it's like a cancer. It spreads from within.
If you think about it, though.
How do we keep falling into that same trap? It is all like a fucking illusion.
Now think of money as a proxy for power.
Well, money is power.
It's an illusion.
It is an illusion,
it
yes. But
it consolidates the same way because the only thing that gives it its value
is us.
Is its scarcity. So there's no point to wealth or to power if you give it to everyone. Then no one can have a lot of it. On the other hand,
called a utopia.
On the other hand, though, you can't have rich people. You can't have extreme wealth without extreme privation. You know, like, what does an iPhone cost? You know, if you look at the extraction level economies that are producing
get an iPhone, if everyone could eat a fucking steak, wouldn't we just shut the fuck up?
We don't have enough resources to do that, actually.
Here's my real
we don't.
Here's my real dig with what you talk about with iPhones and shit when you're talking about the extraction level and then the manufacturing level and then the shipping that it takes to get these fucking things here. So that, and then also we can pay a relatively considering low price for that piece of technology every single fucking year.
All you're saying is what you've been fed. It doesn't take that much to do any of that stuff.
Hold on,
but
Todd.
The precious metals.
Yeah. So
oh, really?
Yes.
Giving it to who and to do what? Give me a fucking break. It doesn't take any of that stuff. They're feeding you this horse shit because, I mean, dude.
They're feeding you that you need the iPhone.
The bottom line is they're feeding you that you need the iPhone. So that's one lie, and that it costs this and it costs this. Yeah, because who said it does? That person. Nothing costs anything that we don't want it to cost. Nothing matters unless we make it matter. That's it. Okay?
Well, what you're proposing then is that we just all fucking sit in our chair and stop all world commerce, particularly.
No! I'm saying we chill the fuck out and let it fucking happen. Like, why does everyone have to hoard? So it costs this much because someone drummed this up, because they drummed this up, because of this lie and this lie and this lie and this lie. And to keep it all going, the iPhone costs fucking $700.
Well, if you really want to dig into the darkness of man's heart, you got to go back to early civilization.
But
So
we're the ones who eat it.
yes,
I mean, if we were just like, that's bullshit. You know, that from inception, that is bullshit. Not buying into it. Bye.
unfortunately,
All right, fine, whatever. It's $50. Okay, thank you. Like if no one got it,
And I
if
get
no one got
unlimited
it,
data?
if no one got it, just no, because did you need it before, bro?
Well, yeah.
Telegrams and
Okay.
fucking shit. Like,
So-
don't have to go back too far.
How many phone numbers do you remember off the top of your head?
I used to remember a lot more.
Me too.
I used to remember a lot more, bro.
All right, so Todd, we're actually starting to circle back around. Like you're coming around to the point that I'm trying to make is like this crazy ass materialism is destructive, right? Because I think about this, like the amount that we consume when it comes to electronics is fucking insane, especially when you think of A, how much people throw out, and B, what's in what people throw out. Okay? So think for a moment what makes up that goddamn phone. Right? There's silicate, there's gold, there's silver, there's copper, there's, oh my god, there's lithium, there's, fuck, what else is there in there? Mercury, fucking cadmium, probably. I don't know if we still use cadmium. Oh my god. So a lot of shit that you have to dig out of the goddamn ground. It takes huge, like, industrial, what do you call them? Like,
and none of those
mining
mines
concerns.
really are. They're not really in what we'd call the developed world.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm.
So, oh my god, and thinking about the profit margins to extract these metals, to refine them, to process them, to make them usable within these electronics. Then you send these electronic pieces, these components off to factories where they get manufactured, and then some poor person in China or wherever the fuck they got them set up now works 18 hours a day to put these fucking phones together.
Not to mention the ones digging the precious metals.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
poor motherfuckers digging the precious
Yeah.
metals.
And they're all meant to be technically obsolete within less than 5 years. So, it's just supercharging
So
more.
you're
and
talking
more
about
and
the
more.
value of all of this that they don't even believe in because it's supposed to be obsolete anyway. Like they know the shit's going in.
But
in
they
the
want
ocean
us.
anyway.
They want it to go obsolete so that you can buy a
Yeah,
new
so
one.
they
There's
don't-
no money in
exactly.
selling you one thing every 20 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a system that they themselves are proving that they don't even believe in.
Yeah.
If they're willing to sacrifice all of it anyway.
If you look at the
Just to make
right
it
to
feel more
repair
of
law
the
that just passed in
almighty.
Massachusetts.
Fucking
said, what was
amazing.
that?
The right to repair law. That's a huge blow against planned obsolescence because
Yeah.
so
Huge
many
win for
things
people.
you have
Absolutely.
to take it to, a particular place. And so, of course, it costs a lot more money. And if you open it up and try to work on it yourself, aka
Yes,
your
yeah,
iPhone,
yeah.
you just voided your warranty.
Yeah.
So, that's...
It's a huge win because, like, Apple especially has a lot of anti-consumer practices where it's like you can have a cracked screen and they're really like, nope, you got to buy a new one,
Yep,
motherfucker.
absolutely.
So
you
it's-
should have bought Apple Care.
That's why
Yeah.
I don't fucking
So
do Apple. But I mean, there's drawbacks of droids too.
and like it's the same thing with both. It's like, well, we bought these things, we should
Yeah.
have the right to try and fix them ourselves because you'd be surprised how many times you blow out like a speaker or something and it's just a fucking tube.
Dude,
Or
yes.
your computer is fucked up and it turns out you haven't dusted out the fan in fucking 6
Right.
years.
Fixing a
that-
guitar
that,
instead of buying a new one.
Right.
That little fucking thing, that little star thing I have.
Mm-hmm.
How half of it works. It worked. It just like put up these little space images,
Yeah.
and then it's a little projector
Yeah.
thing for okay.
I've had the
And
same.
then all right, but then like you remember when I was like, now check this part out,
Mhm.
and like now there's a bunch of stars and
Yeah,
stuff,
now
right?
it worked properly.
Yeah, because I opened that bitch up, and I fixed the two little things. It was just the little laser that wasn't pointing through the hole it was supposed to, and there was this little tiny little like
Yeah.
piece of like plexi something,
Yeah.
and that needs to go in there. They
How
would have
many
me send that
times-
back, and all of that. So how many times could you just do something that simple and now it works?
Yeah, how many
Think
times
about
is
how
it
much less
actually,
waste.
oh my god, not even just that. This reminds me of recent history. Do you remember the Xbox 360?
I
Of course.
So
I
the
remember
Xbox
the Red Ring of
360
Death
The Red
well.
Ring of Death is a major, huge like piece of fucking video game history. So I had an Xbox 360, like so many of my friends back in the day when we were in middle and high school, and I got the Red Ring of Death every single time I got a new Xbox. And every time I got the Red Ring of Death, I would send it in for the repairs because even though it was supposedly a pretty simple fix. A, I was like 15, so I was too stupid. B, I didn't have the tools. And C, like, if you open it up, you void your fucking warranty, so they won't, fix it or take it back or whatever. And every single time I sent out for a new Xbox, you know what they'd send me back? A new Xbox. Like, they wouldn't fix the one that they gave me or that I bought. They would just send me a new one.
How do you know?
Because they'd say it.
Oh.
Yeah, they'd say it.
See what I mean?
But what I think is they probably sent me like another refurbish that
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So in that act,
Another
I guess
one with a red screen.
yeah.
Already, they just took another. They put your red screen up. They took the other red screen.
Yeah.
Down.
So in that, I mean,
or it could be more complicated than that.
I can't rail against like in-house refurbishment, right? Because that is what cuts down on waste. That's what we're talking about. Is we would like to repair that shit ourselves. We want to cut out having to send our fucking our machine back to the manufacturer for 6 weeks.
But here's an argument for
Okay.
that. Someone has tried to do that and injured themselves and then sued.
Then yeah, so there's the other end of it, right?
Yeah.
So there's the other end of it, and in that case, I would feel for the manufacturer because hey, this dummy fucking shocked himself because he wasn't properly grounded, or he fucking cut himself on the copper venting.
Yeah.
The people are fucking stupid. So I think in that regard,
But
if
there's
you're,
a little. They could put stickers in there that if they did that, that would absolve them from any
Absolutely.
liability.
that's what they already fucking do. It's called the
Yeah.
void warranty sticker. You know what I mean?
But it doesn't have to necessarily void.
The warrant,
Yeah,
like
which is thankfully no longer legal.
Yeah, that's the thing. It shouldn't void that, but you shouldn't be able to sue somebody
I
because
agree.
you want to fucking go inside
Yeah, so
this complex piece of machinery.
Exactly.
Right.
Instead, I think
That is
there
your
should
own
be
prerogative.
there should definitely be more of a transparency between the consumer and the manufacturer, where it's like, give us the right to repair our machine, give us, whatever knowledge you can, nothing proprietary as
Yeah.
far as like the architecture of the technology itself, because that's huge, right? We don't need that. Like, if my fan blows out, you don't need to teach me like the intricacies of Zen 2 architecture.
Yeah.
Right.
So, because I won't fucking know it.
Yeah, but just the basic whatever, or like you said, labeling, this shit will
Yeah.
Right.
blow up.
We don't
If,
take
you
any
know.
goddamn responsibility. There,
Yeah, it's like this is on you.
yeah.
But another thing too, think about it in the context of like farm equipment.
Mhm.
Now we're not talking
Now
something that
we're-
you pay
yeah.
$900 for. Now we're talking a piece of equipment that you paid $90,000 to $700,000
Yeah, if you get
for.
your arm caught in a fucking thresher, you're fucked.
But the thing is, like growing up on a farm, we had equipment from the 50s and 60s, and you knew how it worked, you maintained it, you could fix anything on it. Now you would void the warranty for absolutely everything on maybe a $700,000 combine,
Right.
by taking it to your neighbor's brother-in-law's shop to have him work on it rather than going to the dealership.
Yeah.
And so if we can get like that, just puts such a hampering on, like, it's putting such an extra squeeze on farmers and everybody, really, because
Because
you
that's
can't
what
work
we
on your
do.
car now.
That's
That's
another.
what we did. Like, I mean, we had a 68 tractor and a 77
Yeah, you
tractor.
can't afford to buy a new one every few
We
years.
just went to our neighbors who had a similar part or piece, especially if you're talking about like a Caterpillar too. Like, we had
Yeah.
a dozer, the final drive when that broke. Not a lot of them for the model we had, existed, but our neighbor did, and his wasn't working, but he still had a final drive. We took that, like that's how farm people do it. Should it be enough that you're making them spend $700,000 right off the jump? And then if they
Right.
really want to upgrade the model, they will do that on their own. Does changing the fucking fourth gear in a fucking that should void a warranty? Like, that's just not.
Well, that makes me think of another popular anti-consumer practice these days is purposely making things difficult to get into to repair, either for an aesthetic purpose or just because
For
you
monetary
don't-
purpose, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
It's-
I think Apple's a fantastic example of that, because their shit's hard as fuck to get into. Or if you ever tried to get into like a PlayStation controller, see what the fuck is going on in there, because your sticks are fucked up.
I've gotten in, but you couldn't put it back
Jesus.
together afterwards.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, some things I wouldn't even want to mess with.
There are
but, like,
there are
have
specialized
the
tools for that now.
parameters.
In fact, there are some good tools for that shit now.
but there's
thankfully.
people with different knowledge
Yeah.
bases. If you do not have any knowledge in this, then by all means keep your fucking hands out of it.
Yeah.
But it should be your, prerogative to do so. It is your equipment, And like, by the way, it's broken, so that's already a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't supposed to be broken.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like
I'll wire my basement, but I'll call a bonded union electrician to come and plug it into the panel.
yeah, yeah. It's so stupid. Exactly.
I'm not going to pay him, just to tack up Romex for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, no.
No. I don't know, bro. I mean, I think at some point, shit just got way out of hand.
It certainly did. It's just that
Like,
idea of consume, buy more.
There's just too many people saying too many things, man. I mean,
Yeah. And you question your sanity every day when you fucking wake up.
Day.
You know
I
what
know I'm crazy. I don't question. I already know I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So I've already, bottom line, straight up, I'm like,
Knowing is
wake
half
up,
the battle.
Cool. I know I'm nuts. All
Going
right.
back to the wastefulness of people in electronics, like the computer that I have now, I built out of a computer I found on the side of a fucking road.
Sweet.
Yes. So this computer had like air cooling, or not even air cooling, liquid cooling. It had a fucking GPU in it that still worked. Like pretty much 90% of what was on this computer worked. And it was just thrown on the side of the road. And I'm like, motherfucker. It's like,
Sometimes you find useful things when you least expect it.
right? It's just like, damn, you ignorant savages. You rich, ignorant savages.
I know, bro. But I appreciate you, I guess.
I don't know, man. I gave it a home.
You wouldn't have it
I gave it
if
a
it
home.
wasn't for that fool.
Right, if
that
it
threw
weren't for
out.
your fucking ignorance, I wouldn't have my dream gaming PC that I've been pining over for the past decade.
And you just threw out.
That you just tossed away, and I've cleaned it up. I fucking replaced a couple parts. It took forever to find and get a hold of them.
It's okay.
But, you ended up with
so
something
worth
that
it.
you couldn't even buy off a shelf.
It was so worth
Yeah.
it. It was worth it.
Just sitting on the fucking
Like
side
one
of the
man's
road.
trash, Treasure
Yeah.
Island, baby. It's out there. It's that kid, that boy on slot kid, is smart as fuck, man. He's taking all that trash out of the Pacific Ocean. He's gonna make a shitload of money. Think about
some trash is just
No. Think about it. We got the Trash Island. You know who Boy on Slot is, right?
Yeah.
So Boy on Slot, he's like, is he Swedish or Danish?
I think he's Danish.
Danish. So he's like this Danish kid who, when he was like 16, 17, 18, came up with the idea of like these giant boats that would pull over the course of
the
decades.
TED Talk ensued.
Yeah, the TED Talk was interesting.
Right.
I mean, the kid had the vision and he's making it happen, is what I'm saying. The kid's like 23, 24 now.
He's got a new facet to his project now. He's got ones that are designed for rivers.
I love it.
So
love
they're
it.
combing rivers, and it's like he said he was personally surprised like how much trash, and they were out on one of these, and like, oh my god, like the belt that's coming up, it was just constant trash coming up out of this river.
Right. I would love to see them trawl the fucking Allway
Well, I mean,
just to see what turns up, man. Like we'll find
Don't
Jimmy Hoffa in that bitch. I tell
run
you.
too many bodies.
Find Jimmy Hoffa. That's where he's been. He's been at the bottom of the
You think the
Allway.
homeless problem is
Oh,
bad
right.
now, bro?
Oh
Just
my
wait
God.
till they comb the Allway.
Yeah.
Just leave that Novavirus
You
where
don't
it is.
just- Trail
Like-
of bones.
Well,
bro.
think also like Trash Island is Treasure Island, because like think of all the fucking iPhones and shit that must be floating in there.
Yeah,
All
dude.
the old Sega Genesises, the Atari 26.
Nah, probably not.
Yeah,
I think
so.
most of that sank. That's underneath silt now to be
Yeah.
mined later on, like we
Oh,
mine
maybe,
coal.
yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense. The plastic would
It's like,
eventually.
yeah, this
degrade,
layer
I
is really
suppose.
rich in precious minerals.
Yeah.
We've got some silicate, gold, copper. Holy shit. Yeah. What do you think, gentlemen?
Oh, I reckon it's probably about that time.
2 hours, almost 50 minutes. Yeah, pretty good.
How long?
2:47,
Wow.
2:48.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could just edit out that part where I was screaming hysterically, that'd be great.
No, that's staying in.
No, we can
Fine,
definitely leave
fine,
that in.
Not really leaving it in.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but if it's there, leave it.
Yeah, we're leaving it.
White rabbit.
This was fun, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You want to come back again one of these days? Fucking
yeah.
A. Right on.
Cool.
All right then. I'm Robert.
Yep. I'm Todd.
And I'm Isaiah, and this
Oh my
is...
This is the end
Get
of it.
out of here, baby.
I don't know the name of the podcast.
Bye.